Yeah, that looks better. G'day guys. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties, which I hope are sorted out now. Can everyone hear me? Seems like YouTube lately, like the last few streams, both that I've done and a few others, it seems like the start of it is really fucked. So I don't know if something's going on there or my internet just sucks or all that. But hopefully I'm coming through now. So g'day everyone, and thank you for hanging in there. I've got a very special guest on tonight who I will introduce shortly. And his name, I'm just going to have a look. Okay, cool, sounds good now. Alright, and so tonight we have Eel Reerg, which I will let him introduce himself, but he is this handsome fellow right here. He is Lee Greer's evil twin. And this is actually a picture that Eel sent through to me just before this stream. Isn't that right, Eel?
Oh, that's correct. I brought some fries too, but the fries might be cold.
Have any
I
pickles?
also brought a couple of cheeseburgers with extra pickles. That's how you
Excellent.
know I'm the evil version. I'm the evil twin.
So you want as many pickles as you can possibly get. So thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about the call soon. But yeah, you've picked one of my favourite calls, and I think it's one of the best calls in Lornography. But before we jumped in, I just wanted to hand the mic over to you to introduce yourself. Well, tell us how you got into TCAP and all that, or just whatever you want, really.
Yeah, I got into TCAP at the beginning of the pandemic. I had a lot of free time, and I was on YouTube and I was watching, I think, a Liars Caught on Live TV like compilation, and I saw Anthony Palumbo. And like most people, when I saw Anthony Palumbo, I thought to myself, I need more. I need to see the whole thing. So I hunted down the full clip, which led me down the TCAP rabbit hole, which led me to Lorne Armstrong, which led me to talking to a guy from a different continent about catfish and a pedophile talking on the phone.
It
It's
is
just a very normal series of events, nothing weird.
exactly, and that is one of probably the only decent thing that Lorne has done in his life, which he didn't actually do. Like the only kind of anything he's given to the world is this community, and like you say, the fact that you can stumble down this rabbit hole and then you end up talking to people across the world about this guy. It's quite bizarre. It's also one of those things. Like it is well, at least I've found it is a rabbit hole you need to go down yourself. Like this isn't something that you can be chatting to your mates about. And like, yeah, there's this bloke called Lorne Armstrong.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's a fucking nightmare. Check out all this, and then we can chat about it. So it's one of those. It's one of those things where I
Yeah,
think
I can't imagine.
Sorry, mate.
Right,
You
I
go.
can't imagine bringing it up to someone at work.
No,
I
exactly. Exactly.
talking about it. You should check out this community that's sprung up around the pedophile. It's really interesting.
That's right. It's very hard to explain. So it is nice that we've got this community of weirdos where everyone's on the same page. So you don't have to do the background and get the judging looks and explain. Look, I'm not that weird. It's just really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah. So the other thing I was going to ask you was virgin or not virgin.
I go back and forth. I think like any good pornographer, there's a good argument to be had on either side, and I follow the evidence. But just following the trail of Lorne's life, I I have trouble placing when he would lose his virginity because he certainly didn't as like a teenager. Out of high school, he joins the Air Force. He's terrible. I guarantee nobody in the Air Force is hanging out with him. So he's not doing it then. And then in his mid 20s, he starts to lose his hair, which leads to him talking online, which I think is a result of his lack of confidence from losing his hair and not having any success with women prior to that. And then he just kind of meanders around until he's 37. he gets caught up in the sting, goes to jail, gets out of jail, doesn't have, I think no one would argue he's had sex since 2007. So it's like, when would he have done it?
Yes.
It would have to be in his 20s, but I can't see it. I can't, me personally. What about you?
No, I'm exactly the same. I'm very firmly in Team Virgin, but much like you, I came around to that over time. Like, at first, I was very much, he wouldn't be a virgin. Like, I didn't think he had a lot of experience and that kind of stuff, but just, I used to think about things like, okay, yes, it was a short time, but he was in the Air Force, that kind of thing. You're probably going to attract someone, you know what I mean? And also, like, when you look at him younger, like, he wasn't the most unattractive guy. Like, he wasn't a knockout, but
that's true.
But then I'm very firmly in the fact that he is, for a few reasons. A, the stories he tells, like, they're just not believable. Like, that's not how things happen. And if he, when he's pressed, and like, this is really in the Jamie Amy calls and that, and he's pressed to say, okay, Lorne, tell me about one of your sexual experiences. If he's got one, he would tell it then. And it's not that, he doesn't even understand basic anatomy. Like, and I'm not understanding saying, you have to be fully across all that, but the fact that he thinks that women have multiple clits, like, no one that has had sex believes that.
Right.
And just the way he is too, like, he is so awkward and that kind of thing. So, because I used to hang on to the fact that I guarantee he's had sex at least once, because, being in his Air Force uniform, hanging around bars like he did all the time, we all know that, there should have been one occasion where he would be someone's, okay, I just want to hook up tonight, that guy's there, do you know what I mean? Like, not a relationship.
I don't care if he has a bed or not. I'm going home with this guy.
I'll do it on the floor. But then I also think, okay, but he's in those situations, he wouldn't approach anyone, I don't think, and he'd be surrounded by his other Air Force people. So if someone just wanted to hook up, he's not going to be the choice, and they're not going to have any trouble getting someone like that. And I think too, he's a massive. He likes the whole relationship aspect, and he's a massive stalker. So if someone had made the terrible mistake of hooking up with him, he would not leave them alone. They would be basically married now, and you need to be in his trailer at once. So yeah, I'm very much in the he's a virgin camp, but it's one of those things, one of those many things with Lorne that we will never know the truth, and so there's no right or wrong answer. So
absolutely. He'll never come clean, even if like, Paula is the only one that I think that maybe he had like a one-night stand with because of his obsession with her. But other than that, I can't imagine. He would never forget her name. He would never do any of these things that he always
exactly
talks about, I was having sex with so many people, blah blah blah.
Bullshit. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to be tied down. Like, bullshit, Lorne. That is your dream, is to be tied down. Yeah. Like that. So he's just full of shit there. But yeah, it is. I do love talking about whether he is or not. And I think the other thing we we're going to talk about was your time traveling token to borrow from Andrew Burkett.
Oh right, yeah. Yes, my time traveling token. I'd kill to go back in time and see him when he was 13, because I think that's where he, his development was arrested. Like, he's very much a 13-year-old in every mode of thinking. So something, surely, at least in terms of like his romantic relationships, must have happened when he was around that age. And I'm just curious, would he be more mature and have a more like robust view of anything when he was 13, or is he just the same? It's so interesting to me. What about you? What would you use your time?
Yeah, and that is it's a good point there. Like, it is he has kind of stunted there. Like, everything else has kept growing, but mentally he's never really left that period. I mean, even right down to the fact that he refers to himself as a boy. And like in the Kayla calls where they're talking about
guy.
Yeah, the guy, and boys are stupid, and he's like, oh, but I'm not, and she's like, you're no, so that's what she says, but you're not. Now, anyone that identifies as a man would have said, well, no, I'm not, but I'm a man, like, I'm not a boy, but he doesn't even correct that. I change my mind all the time on what I want my time travel token to be. Like, I've gone through, I'd love to be in the karaoke bar with him and that kind of thing. But I think what I've settled on, at least for now, or there's two things. If we're talking real alternate reality, alternate, universe, and everything could be different, I would have loved to have been some way able to influence his court-appointed attorney, or been his court-appointed attorney, to say that, Lorne, mate, you have a great case here. We're not going to take the plea. We're going to fight this. So for two reasons.
In fact, we should countersue for $40 million.
Exactly, for two reasons. A, if he fought it, he would have been in jail for 30 years at least. And B, it would have been the best trial to watch. Just him sitting in the dock while they play the calls for Kayla, and he'd be like, no, stop, enough, and all this kind of stuff. It would have been would have been amazing. But outside of that really, really alternate reality, I just would have, if we're talking about the time travel token where, you can do whatever you want and you won't change the course of anything, is I would love to be Sherry Twist or whatever, and just fuck with him. Just, tell him to do stupid shit, tell him that, Derek's coming around tonight and, we're going to fuck all night and all this kind of stuff, just to really...
Yeah.
Really
Kayla
fuck with
and Derek are project partners in, like, a geography thing. They gotta do... Or sex ed. They're sex ed partners.
Exactly. Or just to fuck with him for that month, with no consequences, with not affecting the sting and that, it would just be awesome. Yeah. Because what I always wonder is how much longer they would talk for, and because, really, she did nothing to upset him. And even then, he was starting to get on the edge with some things. Like, you hear it in the second call where she took a while to call him back. And she was like, sorry. And he's like, oh, well, why are you sorry? That kind of thing. Like, he was already shitty. So I want to know how long it would take until he would get to the rage levels we hear in the catfish calls with Kayla. Because I know he was holding that in. Because he understands enough to realise, I can't yell at this little girl. But it would have eventually happened. If you just a bit of poking, just a bit of talk about Derek and that kind of stuff, it would have happened, I reckon. So that's my time travel. So we'll just go through, say hello to everyone.
Absolutely, that'd be amazing. I'm curious to hear what...
You go, mate?
If anyone wants to put their... they would use their time travel token on in the chat, I'd love to read it.
Absolutely, I agree. Chuck that in there, guys, and we'll read through them before we jump into this call. While you're doing that, I just want to say good day to everyone. And once again, I am very sorry for all having to push this back due to the lull and all the fuck ups at the start. So thanks for hanging in there, guys. So Carrot Gaming, Winnie's boyfriend / husband, Stephen Curtis, Hey Boo. Who else we got? Ma'am, yes, ma'am. And no, you weren't late. In fact, I was late. Kevin Barry, Amy A. Ramirez. Hi. Who else we got? Mike Helm, Lorne's literal asshole. G'day, mate. Talking, if I missed anyone, I hate missing people. Mandy, yes. Amy Shollet. Jake Breaker, 19. Hardcore Poetry, Gorilla Spawn. Amanda James, g'day, mate. Hardcore Poetry, I think I said. Great to see you all here, guys. So I don't think anyone else has chucked in their time token stuff, but feel free to put those in and we'll address them as we go through. Mate, anything you want to talk about before we start listening to this call?
Absolutely not. Let's get into it. I can't wait to hear Lorne's excuses and made-up reality.
Let's do it. All right, so this call, which I know is in the dump, but for whatever reason I can't find it in my copy of the dump I have, so I am grabbing this off RaptorBacon's channel and big thanks to RaptorBacon for letting me stream this one. I really appreciate that. And, you know, if you haven't checked out his channel already, obviously do that. And so the context of this one is Ramona has been talking to the therapist, and that's a whole big series of calls, which I will do at some stage, but that's a fucking mountain to climb over, so I'll leave that for a little bit. And she's basically decided that, you know, it's probably not a good idea to be dating a nearly 50-year-old sexual predator, so she's going to go on a date with the therapist, and Lorne doesn't like this, and as we'll find out, he makes some shit up. But this is one of my favourite calls, and when Eel suggested we do this, I was stoked because it was one of those ones that was already sitting in my little to-do folder. So I married up really well, and so this is probably one of the best Ramona calls, and in my opinion, it's probably one of the better calls in the whole Catfish, because you get a bit of everything. You get Lorne rage, you get Lorne stupidity, and you get really good Lorne tears. Yeah, and you get one of my favourite lines ever in the "You are killing ass." So let's do it, guys. Let me know in the chat if you can't hear this, and also let me know if you can't hear it, mate.
I'm really happy for him. You know, I am really happy for him that he's going, to get back out there. I've told him that this is what he should do. You know, I mean, I'm half his age. I live hundreds of miles away. And, you know, I don't see, you know, between me and you, I don't see what I'm supposed to think that I'm getting out of this situation with him, besides getting yelled at on a regular basis. But, I mean, I think that...
Oh, and the other thing I meant to say with this one is that Lorne is on mute while she is talking to the therapist and is meant to stay on mute. So I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if Lorne will follow through on that. And the other thing, mate, just start talking when you want to say shit, yeah? And I'll pause it.
You know, I think for him, what would be best is for him to go out with this girl who he's talking about. And that's me saying this to you, not as someone who wants to go out on dates. That's me saying this as a person who's looking at it objectively. What's best for him in his situation is to be dating girls who are there. We know that this is how he would be if he were to drink. And so, I mean, it's completely legal.
No, we don't know how this is how he will.
Oh, whoops. You're meant to be on mute, Lorne.
Can't quite hold himself.
What?
He can never do. I love how whenever he calls someone and he's gonna be on mute, like literally the first thing, he can't even control himself long enough to have the first comment that comes to his mind just shatter the illusion that he's not on the phone.
He has absolutely no self-control. Like, and it's just amazing because he's always, I'll call this person, I'll put myself on mute and that kind of stuff. And when he'll say, you better not come off mute, but he can't control himself. We've been going for a couple of minutes. She didn't even finish her whole point. And it's like, and it's also too, I love it. It's like bull out of the gate, eh? It's just like, rah. It's so good.
Okay. The problem is you're listening to a therapist that doesn't know shit about me.
Lorne,
and
you're
he's trying to
supposed
put
to
shit
stay
in
on
your head.
mute. Lorne.
He's trying to put shit in your head about me because he saw me a fucking loser to somebody that he's getting personal with that he's not supposed to be getting personal with.
But I mean, he says, he's a shit therapist, he doesn't know shit, but you could argue if his main point is Lorne is a loser, he's right on the money. Like, he would get my money because he
should throw in that Lorne's overweight too.
Exactly, and that would have got a good response, and that's the other thing I love. Like there is times where he gets more offended by being called fat and ugly than he does by being called a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, yes, he is a pedophile, so I guess he can't argue against that. But that should be more offensive to him than being called fat. But he hates it, and he's so into that. Like even right down to where he won't take his boots off when he gets measured, so he can be a little bit taller. Like, I mean, who cares? You're short, man. Like just get over it.
Yeah, he has such strange things that he takes offense to when he has these other things that normal people would really be offended by. It's so weird.
Exactly. He's a very strange guy.
No ethics at all.
But I can't really understand what he's saying because he's got a bad connection.
Hey, maybe you ought to try giving me a call.
How will that change anything? Like, he can't. They can't understand him because he lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. So much so that he has to put his phone up on the windowsill. So how's not being on speakerphone or whatever going to change anything?
Wait, Lorne, say again.
Maybe you ought to try giving me a call.
I still don't understand. Giving him calls? I don't understand.
He wants you to give him a call.
Maybe he should think about the fact that there's probably a reason why I didn't call him.
Yeah, because of the therapist?
No, because I didn't want to talk to you. I had therapy.
Yeah, because you're a fucking therapist.
It has nothing to do with the therapist. Laura, it has nothing to do with the therapist. It has everything to do with you.
It has everything to do with you cheating on me with that piece of shit. That's what it has.
And this is classic Lorne. It's never anyone. It's never his fault. It's always someone else's. It's not. She doesn't want to call him because he's abusive. Because they've got nothing to really talk about. Because she's actively, obviously, trying to move out of this relationship. It's because of the therapist. It could never be him.
Has to do with.
I've cheated on you. Why don't you find someone who won't cheat on you? If you're going to say I've cheated on you, why don't you find someone who won't cheat on you? If that's what you're saying.
Why don't you just not cheat on me?
Lorne,
All I've ever asked from you is to never go on dates with other guys. And you've done it.
First of all,
The one thing I've asked of you is never to cheat on me. Like, if you've got to ask your partner not to cheat on you, you probably shouldn't be with them.
That's like that Michael Scott quote from The Office where he's like, "You cheated on me when I specifically asked you not to."
Exactly. I love The Office. It is my favourite show. And there's a lot of times because Lorne is like an evil Michael Scott, really. And there's a lot of things that come up there where it comes to my head. And yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's bang on. I specifically asked you not to. And then he's like, I know the whole taller seal thing isn't real. You go.
It's desperation for a relationship and love is very similar to that of Michael Scott. But yeah, like you said, evil version of Michael Scott.
Yeah, like he'll literally take whatever he can get. I mean, these people are just constantly trolling him. And I mean that's the thing. If this was a normal, real relationship, and your partner was talking to the therapist the way she does, or the doctor, and going to go out on a date, well, anyone with a bit of self-respect would be like, okay, look, if you do that, it's obviously time for us to move on. But he just needs to try to manipulate her into not doing that, rather than realising this isn't a healthy relationship. I need to leave.
Yeah, and also, like, his defense, it's so indicative of his entire personality, what he does in this call. He comes up with, "I'm going on a date, too." But he would garner more sympathy if he was just like, "You're cheating on me. You're going on." If he didn't try and create this illusion that he's also going on a date, he would get more sympathy. And it's so, in his real life, he's a very pitiable person, or he should be. He has a lot of qualities that normally I would find very pitiable. He's poor and stupid and had a tough upbringing. But he's just such a stupid asshole in how he handles getting like affection and friendship, and it's so crazy.
It is. And I mean, and that's the thing with Lorne. Like, if he wasn't the abusive guy he is, if he wasn't a pedophile, if he wasn't, and someone that's tried to do this with children over and over, like if he wasn't all of that stuff, you would feel sorry for him. Like, this isn't a case of, and I often think if you stumbled onto one of these streams or one of these calls and you didn't know anything about him, you'd think, these guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. They're laughing at this poor guy who's just, you know, he's got no social awareness. He's in these abusive relationships. I mean, that's what you would think, but it's the whole context of Lorne. And even right down to the fact, it's my biggest issue with Lorne, outside of all of that horrible stuff, is the fact that he never makes any effort to improve. If we ever got word, and like legitimate word, that he was actively engaging in therapy, if he was making all the steps he needs to try to improve himself and not be a threat to children and vulnerable people anymore, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable about laughing about this, even with all his history and his past, because you'd go, okay, mate, you are trying to make something out of this, but that will never happen, fortunately, for us, I guess. But it's just, he's just such a piece of shit.
Even if he admitted to his attraction to children, that in itself isn't like a problem. I find it admirable if he hadn't tried to molest a child and was like, hey, I have this just ingrained attraction to children and I need to seek help. That's not something that I think most people would make fun of. That's something that we'd be like, wow, that was really vulnerable of you to speak out about that. And I'm glad that you're seeking help and taking the precautions. But he won't even admit to that despite the preponderance of evidence. It's just, he's so infuriating.
Exactly. And and that's like, you know, that is a really good point where you could have some respect for that. I mean, obviously it'd be much better if he did it before he tried to do it. But even now, if he came out and said, you know what, I do have this attraction. I am going to do everything I can to work on solving this, and in the meantime make sure that I'm not a threat to anyone. Like, you could respect that even after all this, but it won't happen. Amanda James makes a really good point. It's fascinating to see how little Lorne has changed over all these years, which is 100% right. These calls, you know, you could be playing the robot calls right now. It's the same kind of stuff. He doesn't change, and if he lives for another 10 or 20 years, he'll still be catfished, and it'll still be the same stuff. He'll still be begging and pleading for someone to come and, you know, live with him. He'll still be abusing people. He'll still be denying that he's a pedophile. He'll still be claiming that, you know, NBC set him up and all this kind of shit. He'll never change. And Branch, you definitely should watch The Office. I like both the American and the British version, but I actually think the American version, like, most times I'm kind of liking comedy if there's a British and American one. A lot of times I find the British one funnier, probably just because, you know, we have a very similar sense of humour in Australia to Britain, but I love the American one. I've watched it so many times, so definitely do that.
How would you do it?
First of all...
Why would you tell me how perfect this therapist is? When he doesn't even act like a therapist.
First of all, are you wearing the headset? Because I can't really understand what you're saying all that much.
Oh, they call me.
What?
Call me.
But you're already on a call.
I'm on the phone with you.
Yeah.
You can't understand what I'm saying. If you were to call me directly, you'd be able to understand what I'm saying.
He can't even accept his own shitty reception. It's her fault somehow that you can't understand him. Because, see, guys, this all this delay in the stream was your fault. It's got nothing to do with my inability to stream properly. It's all your fault. So take that. Lorne logic. I'm going to Lorne logic you all.
Lauren, take the headset off and I could understand you.
I take the headset off, then I take the phone away from the window where it gets a good signal.
Try smashing it, Lorne.
Lauren, just take the headset off so I can...
Hang on. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah. Lauren, I have...
The problem that we're having is that you're going out with this therapist.
Well, it has nothing to do
What
with
is-
the therapist.
The therapist has a lot to do with it. That's where my problem started from.
Lauren,
Because of this therapist. You brought the therapist in.
Lauren, first of all, my parents did. Second of all...
And he claims that's where his problem started from. They've had problems from day one. I mean, the very first calls, he's yelling at her and all of that. But apparently it's just the therapist coming on the scene has changed things.
Lauren, I would
Just
rather
side
be
note,
single than
why
Yeah.
is there a therapist and the doctor? You know, like, why did we need a second, like, male enemy, like a foil to Lorne's pursuit of Ramona? I don't know why there's two. It's really fascinating.
Well, that's right, and I
They're
also
both
like
like really professional too.
yeah, that's right. They're always successful professional people. It's like they're whenever a threat comes along for Lorne, it's always the anti-Lorne. You know, they're always highly successful, professional. You know, pillars of their community. What like the doctor delivered, like I can't remember what it was, but you know, delivered a child in the middle of nowhere and all this kind of stuff. They're always these amazing people. But Lorne still thinks he can compete with that. Like he still thinks that okay, Ramona is, you know, young, attractive, successful in her own right, has all of these amazing male suitors, but she'll say no to all those to come live with an unemployed sexual predator in a fucking, you know, murder scene trailer because their love is that strong. Like it's crazy. And then, you know, everyone just has titles. Like, no one has a name in the Ramona verse. It's the doctor, the therapist, bro, like, you know, neighbour.
Yep.
No one, even the neighbour that was going to sleep on her couch, which he lost his shit over, was just the neighbour. Like, no one has a name.
Right.
To deal with this kind of nonsense on a daily basis. You screaming, cursing, being controlled.
We're not going to deal with this shit on a daily basis if you just stop it with these other guys. That's all I've asked for you to do. Stop it with these other guys so that I don't get jealous or I don't have anything to worry about.
So you change yourself, so the only way I'll be able to control my behaviour is if you give me no reasons to be upset. I mean, that's pretty much straight out of the abuser's handbook, eh? Like, look, I wasn't going to hit you, but, you know, you made me jealous, so I had to do it, so it's your fault, you know? Fucking asshole.
Yes, I think Debbie, or it might be Debbie, Tiffany, Casey, somebody brings it up where she's like, okay, if you got Winnie in that trailer of yours, domestic abuse would be right behind it. Absolutely, 100%. This guy, like, we joke about him, but he's genuinely terrifying in terms of, like, if he actually got someone to his trailer.
Yep, and that's exactly right. And there is no doubt about that. I mean, you can't have this level of rage and expect that if he actually had someone in front of him, they wouldn't be physically copying it. Like, I mean, leave alone the side, even the you know, the verbal abuse that he does is abuse in its own right. But he would be, and I mean, you hear him slamming stuff and smacking, like kicking doors and throwing things and that would all be happening with someone in front of him. So, and that's it. That's like the sobering reality of all the stupid things he does, is he is a very dangerous person. It's just fortunate that he's never going to have someone around him. And the only thing I ever worry about with him...
Oh, yeah,
Sorry, mate.
I wanted to talk about his dogs for a second, if I may.
Yeah,
that
mate, go
terrifies me the most. During that one call where he was talking about clipping his dog's nails, he was like, I saw a thing on TV and I do it myself. And oh my God, I literally, like, I'm usually playing like a video game or playing something on my phone or, you know, surfing the internet or doing something else while I'm listening to the calls. And I stopped what I was doing and I oh my God, because that was real. His dogs are actually there, and that's just, I feel so bad for those guys.
Yeah, look, and I mean, I'm not in the camp that he abuses the dogs per se. I believe Lorne does the best he can with them, and I mean, not that I'm saying his best is good. And this is one of those things. Everyone can have their own opinion on this. I think he does genuinely love them. As much as he can. Like, I don't think Lorne is capable of actual love, but his dogs give him the closest thing that comes to unconditional love, because, you know, dogs are amazing, and even when they are mistreated, they still love their owners, which is pretty sad, but it is what it is. But you know, and some things, I mean, I do hate saying anything redeeming about Lorne. It does actually hurt me to say it, but like, when he has been pointed out, no, don't cut their nails, he did take him to the vet and that kind of thing. Like, not that I'm trying to stick up for him, but yeah, but I do take your point at the same time. And Herbert Mendingo with me is Eel Reerg. That's how you say your name, is it, mate?
Eel Reerg, yep.
Yeah, Eel Reerg, who is Lee Greer's evil twin. So we're very fortunate to have him on here, and so he's basically just the opposite of Lee Greer. He's not a child predator, and he loves pickles. So yeah, very fortunate to have him on today.
And my fries are warm.
And his fries are warm and crispy.
But you're constantly making me worry about this stuff.
Lauren, you've been jealous of TV shows, Friends in Texas, female friends in Texas, and 96-year-old grandma.
Oh, sorry to stop the call again, but like Amanda James has made another good point. So if Amanda can stop making really good points, we might actually get through this this call. But she always nails it, so I don't see that happening. You know, she called Lorne first, so she owes it to him to be with him no matter who else comes along, and that is what Lorne wants people to owe things to him. It's he wants something to hold over them, and like even because I've been listening to some of the robot calls where there was one call that's been released so far where he made an assumption that Jamie Amy / the robot wanted to sleep with Will, and he just made that assumption based on something that she said, and he went down this whole path where he was screaming and angry and crying and all this kind of stuff, and then she said, well, no, I didn't, I was saying that sarcastically, but he sounded genuinely disappointed because he didn't have that to hang over her anymore. He wanted it to be either they were going to sleep together or they have, so that could be, you owe it to me now to come down here because you cheated on me. Like, he wants that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That was back then. I'm a whole different person now, but you wouldn't know because you haven't been spending time with me. You know why? Because you've been spending your nights up all night talking to whoever. But it certainly wasn't any time with me. You haven't known me for the last 2 months.
Lauren, go on your date and have fun.
If you go over this therapist's house, I'm not going to want a thing to do with you. Because it would just mean you cheated on me again.
Lauren, go on your date. You have a date. Go on your date.
Are you planning to go over the therapist's house?
I like it when Lorne tries to like threaten leaving someone, and it's like the most hollow threat possible. Also, he'll do both. He'll go, you and I are gonna have a lot of fucking issues, but then also, I would never leave you. Why are you trying to leave me? Because I cheated on you. I would never leave you. Like, exactly. Pick a lane, dude.
Exactly, yeah. And it's almost like he just throws as much shit at the wall as he can to try to make something stick. But you know, and he would never leave anyone. He tries to play, you know, the moral high ground and everything. Like, you know, he believes in love. He'd never leave anyone in that. But like, as soon as he thought he could be with Debbie over Winnie, he dumps her and then gets shitty when Debbie doesn't want to be with him because he had dumped Winnie. Like, he will step over anyone to get what he views as an upgrade.
I was not going to go until I found out that you have a date, and then I said, well, I have a date.
I don't want to go on this date. I want us to be back together and to talk. So we can get this shit straightened out.
Lauren, go on the
That's
date.
what I want. No, I'm not going on the date.
It's pretty easy to refuse to go on a date that never existed, isn't it?
Lauren, go on the date.
Yeah.
I'm not going on the date.
I have something. Mandy S just commented in the chat. I've always thought Ramona was too nice for him. Me too. I think that's the point, and that's why I like the Ramona call so much, because it's like, okay, if I had to deal with Winnie, I think if anyone had to deal with Winnie, it would be really frustrating, and that would not, like, if you were secretly being recorded and you had to deal with someone that difficult, that would not be the face that you'd want to put out to the public. Mm-hmm. But Ramona's so sweet. Lauren, are you crying? You know,
yep.
He would still be an asshole to anyone. So that, I think that's very important in this whole thing.
100%, and that is, and I mean, as I've said many times, I've got so much respect for everyone that did all this catfishing to him, because each character, you can see, were specifically designed to try to highlight another part of Lorne. And Ramona's character shows exactly, because if you, say you just listen to some of the Debbie calls where, you know, she's really onto him in that, which I love. Like, I mean, the Debbie calls are probably my favourite because I love the way she just holds him to the fire and all that kind of stuff. But you could think, okay, look, he is he's been abusive, but he's under the pump here, that kind of stuff. But Ramona never abuses him. Ramona, even in spite of all that, like you say, still remains really sweet to him, all this kind of stuff. Even in the fact that this point where she's basically want to move away from relationships, she's talking about how she wants to make sure that, okay, you got this opportunity to go with this woman who's there for you. Like, she is so nice to him, and he is absolutely appalling to her. So it puts to bed anything about, okay, Lorne is bad, but he's bad because he's treated bad. Lorne is just bad. And that's what Ramona highlights.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nah, bang on, both of you.
You can go on your date, Lorne.
I said no. I'm not going on the date.
Lauren, just go and have
Emma told me
fun.
that you're very excited about it. Go on it.
No,
No.
I'm not going on the date.
Well, that's on you. I don't know why you're going to cancel on someone on the last minute.
And I love that he made up this date for two, and you can see he did it for two reasons. A, he had hoped it would make Ramona jealous, and then when it didn't, it's kind of like showing, look, this is how much you mean to me. I'm going to cancel this date, and that's why you should cancel your date with a therapist. But just completely backfires like everything does for Lorne.
Yeah, it's such middle school logic too. I talked up top about him being, a 13-year-old. He has no backup plan for this. Like, as soon as she calls him out, he has no, okay, if she calls me out that I have a fake date, I got Roy set up and I'm going to call Roy, and then nothing. It's just, he's just throwing it at the wall, like you said. It's so juvenile.
Exactly. Like it's like everything in life. It's the bare minimum planning and preparation for anything. Like, even when he was, even with the Kayla stuff and that, like, it was, okay, I'll tell her to delete her archives, and that'll be sweet. Like, even when he's trying to do some of the most evil stuff you can do, he half-assed it. Like, and that's why he's never got anywhere in life. He's just so lazy with everything. But like you say, if you're going to make up this whole thing, you would think you would spend 5 or 10 minutes thinking about, okay, what could go wrong here? Okay, she could call me out and say, go on your date. I've got to, like he says, it's Tony's friend that teed him up. Well, I'll tee up Tony first, and I'll say, Tony, we're going to give you a call, and you're going to say, oh, Jenny will be so disappointed, all that kind of shit. But nah, too much for Lorne.
Yeah.
Because my loyalty is to you.
But your loyalty is not to me when you've already scheduled a date. Go on it, though. Don't cancel on the last minute.
When I made the date, at least we were broken up. We weren't still together. I'm not going on the date.
Lauren, maybe you should call Jen and cancel the date right now on three-way. That way Ramona knows you're serious.
That's a great idea, Emma.
What?
That's a good idea.
What?
Yeah, brilliant. Look at that.
Yeah. And I love whenever, like, Lorne hears something that he's not prepared to answer. It's always like, huh?
What? Yeah,
What?
exactly.
Like, it's like, just to give him a little bit more time.
It needs just an extra few seconds.
That's right, a little bit more time for the hamster wheel
And you could
to
hear
turn.
it a lot in this call.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Oh my God. I was just about to say the hamster wheel whenever he's like taking a long pause. Well, I weren't gonna do it. Like, it's just...
And then if it's real bad, yeah, it's his brain actually freezes, and it's just kind of like glitches, and then there's silence, and then it comes back, and it comes back with something stupid like, well, I weren't gonna do it, and you don't know what's in my head, and all this kind of shit. He's so delightfully predictable. And when we're just talking about the different characters and that, I think a few people in the chat were talking about Ramona and about how I think Amanda James said about not Ramona, sorry, Winnie. Winnie was the kind of catfish that he deserved. She was basically outside of the the pedophilia and that. She was the female version of him, and she was pretty awful. But I mean, really, that was Lorne should have been happy with that. Not that this is a real woman.
Yeah.
But they actually were pretty well matched for each other.
But
what Emma just said. That's a very good idea.
No, I didn't hear what you said. I get people on my phone. I got to take that blow test in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, he can hear everything that he wants to hear. He can hear perfectly, but he's like he couldn't hear Emma.
I said
Emma,
that.
repeat yourself.
I know, I muted myself. I said you should just call Jen on three-way and cancel your date so Ramona knows you're serious.
Well, I don't have Jen's number. I got to call Tony, and Tony has to call her. Tony.
I mean, right here, this is so fucking stupid. You know, I don't have her number. We're going to go on a date, but I don't have her number, and it basically pitched that she didn't want to give it to me. So she's prepared. She's obviously, you're saying she doesn't want you to have her number, but she's prepared to meet you. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, and what were they going to do if plans changed? He would call Tony, who would then call her to say, oh, you know, Lorne can't come now. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, this whole story falls apart at the first amount of
hurdle.
scrutiny that you put on it. It's
Well, why don't you get Tony to give her the number and you cancel the date on three-way? Call Tony right now on three-way. We'll mute ourselves, get the number, and then call Jen on three-way, and we'll mute ourselves again, and you can cancel your date.
Get her on three-way.
Yeah, because if I'm on the phone with you all night, you're going to know that I'm not on the date.
No, but if you have the date, then call her, cancel it, so that I know that you're serious, and then I'll stay home and talk to you.
So he's going to prove that he's not going on this date by just staying on the phone to Ramona the whole night. So poor Jen's just going to be sitting, you know, outside of Walmart waiting for Lorne because he's not going to cancel this imaginary date. But he doesn't think that's weird.
Yeah, she got all dolled up for him.
That's it, you know.
She put on her best Disneyland sweater. You know, she's ready to go on these dates at the Olive Garden with Lorne, and he's going to stand her up. What a jerk. Exactly. I mean, you know, little did she know that she's, you know, dodged a massive bullet by him not coming, but still, yeah, right.
poor Jen, you know, crying at night, you know, wondering what happened to Lorne.
Yeah, I asked Tiffany Lockhart in a stream once if she thought that Jen was real, and she said she thinks that she's real, but that she doesn't think she's like accurately represented by Lorne, which obviously this date is fictitious, but like the fact that he would what I think happened is he like saw someone he found attractive at Walmart who was, you know, like a cashier, and he's just like making up this stuff about her, which is so creepy. Yeah, I mean, a poor actual real life Jen. I hope she's doing all right in Cornville.
Yeah, exactly, and I fully agree. I think Jen is real to the extent that she's a cashier or something at Walmart, and their interaction went, you know, as far as, you know, would that be all, sir? Can I get you anything else? And, you know, she had her name tag on saying Jen, so I think that's as real as she is in Lorne's world. But I think Lorne is also the kind of person that, you know, takes just general politeness from people, either, you know, on the street or in, you know, positions where they're serving you, as, you know, coming on to him. Like, he'd be the kind of person. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was in a shop, and it was like one of those moments like holy fuck, like this is Lorne. Like, there was, you know, they were getting served, and, you know, the guy said how like pretty her eyes were and asked for a number of that. Like, I mean, she's just, you know, putting your shit through the till, mate. Like, and that's what Lorne would be like. And all these, you know, women gawking at him, that it would be that kind of shit. And Branch says, I heard Jenny is actually Silent Rick's sister, and I cannot wait to do the Silent Rick call. That is just amazing.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
He doesn't talk. He doesn't like talking.
He's one of those people who don't talk.
That's right.
I'm not putting Jen on. I'm not going to do that to Jen. She has no idea about anything.
No, all she'll know is that you're just canceling the date. You're not feeling well. We're not going to say anything. You know we're not going to say anything because you've done it with your mom. So we're not going to say anything. You can call her and cancel. That way I know that you're serious and that you're serious about not going out with her. And then I'll stay home and I'll talk to you.
I don't know her number.
Then if Tony has her number, call Tony on three-way. We'll mute ourselves. Get the number from Tony and then call her.
All right, let me hang up and call Tony.
No, just call her. Call him on three-way. Call him on three-way.
No, because Tony doesn't know anything about this either.
So Tony doesn't know anything about it. He apparently set up the date for them, but he doesn't know anything about it. Like, and you could just imagine what his plan was. It was going to be, oh, okay, I'll hang up and I'll call Tony. So just be like, go outside, have a piss, get another Bud Light, let enough time pass. All right, I called Tony and the date's off, you know. Now you cancel your date. Or if he was if he was having a really good day, like one of those days where Lorne is functioning at, 10 or 15%, he would have called Tony and said, look, just in case we call soon, I'm going to say I need you to cancel that date with Jen. And he'll be like, who the fuck's Jen, you weirdo? And, we would have teed it all up. Yep. But he probably wouldn't have gone to that effort.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Kevin Barry in the chat. Paper or plastic, sir? You must really like me to give me so many options, precious. That's Lorne.
Oh, man.
Tony don't know anything about this either. I'm not gonna put a bunch of people through this shit.
Lorne, listen to me.
And even right there, because he started saying Tony doesn't know anything about this either, and then right away he's like, I'm not going to put a bunch of people through this shit, because he realised, hang on a second, I've told them that Tony is the one that has her number and teed up this date. I better just roll over that.
Okay? You have a date with someone who knows Tony. Yes or no, right?
Yeah.
Why not call Tony and ask for your date's phone number? And just ask for her number. You don't have to say anything just say, hey, what's Jen's phone number?
Tony won't give me her number. Tony has to call her.
What?
She doesn't want Tony giving out her number until she knows who it is and until she knows after a while.
If you have a date with her, why wouldn't she want
You know what
to have
this
her number?
reminds me of? Like,
Yep.
this lie that Lorne is going on, it reminds me of, like, in early high school, where one of your friends is like, yeah, I had sex this summer. You're like, where? It's like, well, I don't remember where. What? You don't remember where? It's like...
Exactly.
Why even come up with this lie? It serves no purpose.
Exactly.
There's no point to this. It gains him nothing.
Yep, that's right. It's like, and you had those guys at school where they'd come back after, summer vacation, and they're like, oh, met this amazing girl, we're going out and that, and like, but she goes to another school, It's always
yeah,
just...
right. Yeah, she's a model, but she doesn't like to have her picture taken. So
exactly.
I don't have any pictures of her. Right. Yeah. Okay. I doubt that.
Because models hate having their pictures taken.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have a date
People
with someone who
do all kinds of weird things.
Lauren, listen. You're going on a date with someone tonight, right? And I'm assuming that you have her address so that you can pick her up, or else you're meeting somewhere mutually, but you'd have to give
That's
her
what
a
we were
reason.
going to do. We were going to meet somewhere.
Where, Lorne?
Okay, so you're going to meet somewhere, so I'm assuming that you're going to have to call her anyway. She would assume that you would be calling her anyway to say...
Like, even that, he doesn't even have, he doesn't just come out with, oh, we're going to meet outside Walmart. Like, we're going to meet somewhere. Like, if you've got details, now's the time for details.
Somewhere.
Yeah, just somewhere. Just like, going to meet at the fair, walk around until we saw each other.
Yeah,
I'm out front of Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
Here I am, or whatever. So if that's the case, then you'd need her number anyway. And if you're going on a date with her, she'd have no problem with you having her phone number. You're going on a date.
She didn't give me her number. I think I'm going to get her through Tony.
If Tony has her
Tony
number...
can call her.
What?
Tony is the one that has to call her.
Just...
But I was just going to meet her someplace.
Well, have Tony give her your number.
No, I get enough people that know my number.
Lauren, you're playing games, okay?
Oh my god. It's just like, Tony has a number. Oh, no, enough people have my number. Everyone's seen.
I got enough people that know my number.
That's right. That's right. What do they get? They have a really good first date. Like, oh, I'd love to call you sometime. Well, everyone's got my number. You can't have it. Fucking hell. Oh.
Okay, listen to me.
I'm not playing it. I'm not going to put anybody on a three-way where they don't know what the hell is going on.
You sound like you have a...
So he's not going to put anyone on three-way, and like it was like Amanda Jane said, she just said before, he doesn't want to put her on three-way, but he's got no issue doing to his mum all the time. So he loves his mum. He's got no issue with doing that to her, but he's not going to do this random that he's apparently got a date with.
Yeah, he would never offend her by putting her on a three-way call, but he'd stand her up without letting her know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. At least he didn't call her with two people listening that she had no idea and would have never had any idea about. Dickhead.
Mouthful of shit.
Meet Editor X, the world's most advanced...
Hang on, just got a little bit of an ad there. Should be good now.
Shit, and I cannot understand you.
I said, I'm not going to put anybody on three-way when they don't know what the hell is going on.
They don't need to know what's going on. If you're canceling your date, just say, hey, I'm not feeling too well. I'm canceling the date. And that's all you have to do. There's nothing about this going on. If that's what you're doing, then that's what you're doing. And if you were serious, then that would show me that you're serious.
Would you cancel your date with the therapist if Lorne cancels his date?
If Lorne cancels his date on three-way, I will call the therapist on three-way as well and cancel my date.
Oh, well, there we
There
go
you
then.
go.
Easy fix.
Why'd you make a date to begin with?
No. It's not why. I could say the same to you. It's not about why. It's about if you cancel yours on three-way, I will call and cancel mine on three-way.
Okay, but I can't do it with my phone like that. I can't call Tony and have us be on three-way because my phone doesn't do that. I don't have a smartphone anymore, remember?
Lauren, you have done it before. You can do it. You have done it before.
I didn't call Emma. Emma called me. So I can't do it unless I called. That's the only way I can do a three-way on the burn phone.
Okay, so while you're on the phone right now...
We've had to do it with Mom before, remember? We've had to do it with Mom before.
Okay, so immediately hang up and call me, and then I'll call Emma. We'll be on three-way, and then you'll immediately call Tony.
Okay.
You have 5 seconds to call me back. Immediately.
All right.
5 seconds.
Because they know what he's going to do. And this is coming up to my favourite part.
Yep.
I'm literally, I'm anxious.
Same.
From now.
Hang on. All right.
Yes, Lauren.
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing what?
Why are you doing this to us?
Lauren, what am I doing to us?
You're trying to kill us.
You're trying to kill us. I just love everything about it. I love the way he says it, but I love the way it's like it's all jokey and happy beforehand. He's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll call you back in a second, and we'll do the three-way." And it's just straight into, "Why are you doing this?"
Yep. Let me completely change the subject immediately. Like, why are you destroying us?
Because you can tell
Fucking asshole.
he's hung up their phone and he's like, "I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna get mad." Like he couldn't just
Yes. Oh God.
like because honesty is never the option for Lorne. Like he couldn't have, because obviously he's been put into a spot because
No,
they
of
know
course not. Why would you ever tell the truth?
that's it. Like he's been put into a spot, so rather than saying call him back up and go, okay, you look Ramona, I'm really threatened by the therapist. I'm really worried about what it's going to do to our relationship. There is no date with Jen. I made that up. You know, that would be the best thing he could do in this scenario,
Yeah.
but he just he's like, You are killing us.
Absolutely. And this is you know, I love Ramona. I love the Ramona calls, but this is the one area where I wish either Winnie or Debbie, Casey, Tiffany was the other person, because Ramona kind of gives it up here. They go on like a different tangent. Any of those other people would have held his feet to the fire. Like, no. Go back to Jen. Call Jen. What's going on with Jen? Like,
Exactly.
It's too bad that he doesn't have to come clean.
Yeah, like Debbie in this scenario would have absolutely nailed him, and it would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Lorne, you have tried so many times to kill us. I'm just finishing it. Lorne, I have my entire family telling me
Against me.
Lorne, they heard you call me a pathetic bitch, a piece of shit, and a cunt. I don't know how you figure they're going to be cheering you on.
I can't fucking believe this.
Oh, good. And this is...
Are you crying?
I love Lorne tears.
Oh my...
You go.
Yeah, well, I can't believe this. He calls her all these terrible names. Her family finds out about it. They don't want him dating her, and he can't believe it. It's beyond him.
Exactly.
Why would they not want you dating me?
What is your problem? What is your parents' problem with me? I'm incredibly abusive. I'm a registered sex offender. I don't have a job, and I live in a rundown trailer. How is this not their dream for their daughter? Like, he can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
No, I'm fucking smiling a big goddamn smile. Because you want to fucking cheat on me.
And the shaky voice when he's crying is so good. It is it's just like...
Yeah, and he drops it as soon as he wants to be angry, it's gone.
That's right. Just go drop it. Yes.
Why are you crying?
I'm in love with you, Ramona. You don't see that? I'm begging you to fucking give me the chance to show you the person I am. You're telling me you're going to cheat on me.
Lorne, why are you crying?
You have always believed in me. Why would you stop? Why would you stop when the therapist comes along?
What does that mean?
You took the words out of my mouth. Yep. No, sorry, mate. I interrupted you. You go.
But, like, I can't figure it out. He never goes any deeper than, you believed in me. No. Like, I get what he means, I believed in you, because, like, I believed you were real. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Mm.
But you believed in me. What is that? Like, you believed that I could do... I'm at a loss. I don't know.
That's right. And he says it all the time, you believed in me. And like, is he trying to say, you believed that I could be a better person than I am? Like it doesn't... Like, that's the only sense I can make that, he says, well, because he said, I'm pretty sure just about every girlfriend he says it to, you believed in me. But, so the only sense I can make of it is that he's saying that you believe that, I could be better or whatever. But they've never said that. They've never given any indication of that. They've never said, Lorne, I talk to you because I know you're a good guy, or you can be a good guy and all that. They've never given any indication to that. It's just one of these things where he puts that into his own narrative. And but it's like all the stuff he does too, it's all surface level shit. Like, he'll say these things, you believed in me, or you're so special. Okay, Lorne, why am I special? Well, you just are. Like, this is not, it's never anything of any substance. And it's almost like, because I do think he doesn't have real emotions, which is evidenced by, the fact he can go from, crying like his best friend's died to screaming in like a split second with no crossover. Like, but I think he watches things, and like, because it's like he watched too many Hallmark movies, and that's where he gets his ideas on love and shit from. Like, you know, you watch those.
Yeah, when he's crying because Winnie cheated on him.
Yep.
He's crying. He's bawling. He's absolute like. Oh, I've never cried that. I've had tragedy in my life. I've never cried like that. And you know, everybody handles it differently, but it's just ridiculous.
And I know
the
exact call you're talking about. And actually, the first time I heard that call was on the Lorne Identity stream, and that's what I said in the chat was I mean, you know, I've had, like everyone, I've had, you know, moments in my life that haven't been great that I've cried about and that, but I have never, like, you know, and I've lost, you know, people close to me in that. I've never cried that hard that he has. Like, it is just, you know, over a fake girlfriend, really, that cheated on him. Like, it is just such hard crying, and it's not realistic. Like, I mean, obviously that's upsetting. I'm not saying that anyone should just be like, oh, okay, he cheated on me, who gives a shit? But it's not that level of upsetting. It's like he's just watched too many, you know, midday movies, and he's watched, especially, you know, he's watched the stuff where, you know, love conquers all, and, you know, unconditional love no matter what, and that's what he believes he wants for his life. Like, that's what he believes life's like. It doesn't matter what I do. If you love me, then you'll overlook that. But that's just not reality. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Lauren, give me 5 minutes. I gotta take this. I'll call you back. I will call you back in 5.
All right.
For days.
Because that's not what he wants.
Well, it was
not
what
what
I
the
wanted
doctor
at the
wants.
time.
He even told you he was tempted to kiss you when he wiped your mouth off, which is something he shouldn't be doing anyway. You shouldn't be allowing him to wipe your mouth off when you have a boyfriend anyway.
Wiped your mouth off. It's just such a funny way.
Touching someone's knee and wiping their mouth off are the most sexual acts a person can commit.
Exactly.
How dare he?
Exactly, you know, and these are the things you learn from Lorne. I didn't realise, you know, knees were so sexy, but apparently they are. And so there you go. Thanks, Lorne.
It's just not right. This is not right, Ramona. You cannot tell me it's right because it is not right.
I can tell you it's right because it is right. Listen.
It's not right. When you have a boyfriend, you don't let some other guy take you out to dinner and wipe your mouth off.
Again, we have been going on 2 hours of this phone conversation. 2 hours that I've been on the phone with you today. Not one time have you asked about my knee and how my surgery went. That was just yesterday. Not
I wanted to know. I wanted to know yesterday.
Not one time. Okay, yeah, you want to know, but you didn't ask. Now, because yesterday you were too busy. Yesterday I woke up to text messages saying that if I didn't call you, then we were broken up. That's what I woke up to on the morning of my surgery. Messages saying that if I didn't call you, we were broken up. And then when I got home from my surgery, doped up completely on anesthesia, the messages I got, well, you didn't call me, so it's over. So those are the kind of messages that I got from you. Now, as I was saying,
you keep confusing me with these new guys that you're bringing in.
See, again,
you have to keep doing that.
It goes back to you. It's all about what you want. You've not asked me about...
I don't want to be confused about what you're doing.
I'm not confusing you. I am saying I want to go and see people who are in my state. I'm not being confusing about that.
I want to be in your state with you.
Okay, but Lauren, you're not...
You can't, mate. You can't leave Maine. It's just like, he just thinks...
Yeah, unfortunately, you tried to molest a child, and that's not an option for you at this time, Lorne.
Exactly. What a shame. And, you know, he still holds on to the fact that he reckons he will be able to. But, I mean, this is the whole... Like, she's saying that she wants to see other people. Now, if this was a real relationship, that's obviously very sad, but this isn't something you can manipulate your way out of. Like, at this point, the relationship's dead. Like, but he's not man enough, or he's not an adult enough to say, okay, well, look, I'm not comfortable with you going on dates with other people, so it's over. He just thinks he can cry and whinge and bitch his way out of it.
And ironically, that would make him so much more attractive if he was mature enough to be like, hey, look, I'm uncomfortable with this. I appreciate that, you want to keep this relationship going, but I got to tell you, I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm going to have to cut this off. That would make him so much more attractive. Like, wow, what a reasonable fellow. He's very mature. But instead, again, the complete opposite direction of what he should be trying to do.
Exactly, and if nothing else, I mean, it's still probably going to be over. But if nothing else, he could hold his head up then and go, you know what, I've stood for something here.
Yeah.
But he can't, and
exactly.
Ladies in the chat, I mean, I would imagine that would. I don't know if Lorne, if that would win you back to Lorne, but surely if this was a situation that you were in, if the guy on the other end, did say that, look, I'm not going to put up with that. If you want to do that, do that. Surely that is better than this. Anything is better than this snivelling and whinging and bitching.
To me.
You haven't been fair to me, so don't tell me you have.
Again, as I was saying, thing one, not ask me about the surgery. Thing two, I am saying to you what I want, but you're not listening. Thing three, it doesn't matter what I want because you want what you want, and that's what's going to happen in your world.
You don't want me?
Lord, I want to be with people who are in my state, who are showing me healthy habits, who are showing me that they've got their life together, that they've got their situations handled, that they don't have issues with drinking, that they don't have issues with anger.
I don't have issues with drinking anymore at all. I still don't even...
have issues with drinking. He loves it.
He's
got no issues with it.
That they're not angry and getting violent, that they have good jobs and that they take care of themselves, that they have a situation where they could take care of me, that they're in a situation.
Just another little ad here. Fuck. Damn, RaptorBacon and his monetization.
Where they're not, where we can live anywhere in the world that we want to live and where we can travel. That they are mentally healthy. That they do take care of their bodies and that they're not smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day. That's what I want.
Oh, he only smokes 2 packs a day. Well, what's she talking about? That's fine.
You never had a problem with me smoking before.
And that's the other thing. That's what this comes down to. He says you didn't have a problem with me smoking before, and she's listed all the things that she's not willing to overlook anymore. But people change in relationships. He just thinks, okay, you accepted the disgusting person I am. What you need to keep accepting that for the rest of our lives. He can't just let anyone change, and he can't realise that this is now over.
Lorne, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm not going to try and stop you from smoking. I'm not going to try and stop you from smoking. But I don't want to be hacking up a lung. I'm already hacking up a lung from the damn tooth they had down my throat for the surgery you still haven't asked me about. And I don't like that feeling, so I certainly don't want to be inhaling cigarettes 24/7.
I ask you about it when you never give me a chance to ask you about it.
When you've been on the phone for 2 hours.
How was the surgery? Because I wanted to know yesterday.
Okay, well, you didn't ask.
But you didn't ask. He wanted to know yesterday, apparently.
Oh, shit. I forgot to ask. How was your surgery? It's that last-second Hail Mary.
That's right. But
I forgot you're like a human with emotions. Whoops.
That's right. But rest assured, I wanted to ask you yesterday, so that's all good, It'd be like, forgetting to buy a birthday present for your partner and be like getting it the next day. But I wanted to get it for you yesterday, so don't worry about it.
Right.
Asked me yesterday. All you said yesterday was, well, since you didn't call me, it's over.
You never called me, but you found time to call Emma for your surgery.
First of all, she called me, and I answered.
She said that you told me that you called her.
I don't know. She called me. She could have called me, and then I called her immediately back. I don't know. I think that might have been what happened. Who cares? Who gives a shit? I talked to Ella for a few minutes yesterday. Who cares? That's not the point here, Lauren. The point is that you're not.
Why didn't you call me? Let me know that you still want us.
Because, Lauren, you were not the focus of yesterday.
No, the focus. The focus was...
So she's had surgery. He doesn't call her, and not only that, is now upset because she, after her surgery, after being, on whatever medication she is after that, didn't call him to let him know that she still wants ass. I mean, that is incredibly selfish.
You're supposed to be on your knees.
Yeah,
And that was so
yeah,
good
like you
today.
said, she just had surgery.
Yeah.
And it's like, all he could think about is like, you didn't call me yesterday. I was sitting around all day. I was hoping I'd look at my phone and see how are you. Like, dude, she had fucking surgery.
Yeah,
what are you
that's
talking about?
That's right, the doctor's the anesthesiologist about to put her under, like, stop, I've got to message Lorne, I need him to know that I'm still
I gotta
thinking
text the
about
pedophile
us.
in Maine.
Ma'am, you're not allowed mobile phones in surgery.
You had to put that therapist there. That's right.
That was the focus yesterday. And yes,
And before, you were flirting with him on the phone. You didn't meet on the phone.
as I was saying, that was the focus yesterday. And I am glad that I had someone there who literally could pick me up and put me in the wheelchair and pick me up and put me in the car. Because I cannot.
Couldn't have done that. You better couldn't have done that.
He's even got an issue with that.
The nurses or your brother or the 10 friends that you had.
No, the nurses
home.
could not come home with me. That is not the point. The point is that you're not listening to what I'm saying to you that I've been saying for 2 hours and yesterday.
And you're still not listening to anything that I've said to you. You haven't for the longest time.
Then, Lorne, go be with
You
someone who
continue
will
to put
listen to
these
you.
guys in our way.
Lorne, then go.
Continuously.
Yeah,
Then, Lord,
Lorne,
if
why
I'm
don't
not
you just
listening,
break
go
up
be-
with her and go on this date with Jen from Walmart? It sounds
Exactly.
like you guys would make a great couple. She's eyeballing you. You live in the same state.
She's
What's
packing
the
your
problem?
groceries.
I don't understand what the problem is here.
What
I mean, is she
more
not
could you
real?
want?
Is that what's happening?
Surely that's not it. Surely she's a real person. But and that he can't take, she is saying it's over. She's basically saying, I'm now at a point in my life where I've realised that this is fucking ridiculous to be with you. I want someone who's my age, who is successful, who can lead the state. All of those things you can't change. So it's over. It is done. Move on. But he won't.
Be with someone who will be with you.
Yes, I want to be with you. And I want to show you the real person I am, but you don't allow it because you constantly put a threat there. Why do you need to constantly put a threat there with us?
And that's the other thing. He's always wanting to, all of his catfish, he's always wanting to show, the real person he is. This is the real person he is. There is more than enough evidence to show that this is who he is.
I am not.
Yeah, you've done a
putting
bang-up
a
job
threat-
showing them who you are. It's just they hate who you are, and they have good reason to hate who you are.
Exactly. And why would he need to be waiting for months into a relationship to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to be the real me now? Just to try to pull this from the fire.
Yeah.
Threat. I am putting friends. I am trying to have a life down here. You need to go try to have a life up there.
Friends. You make me understand how the therapy is going to be a friend when you're sending messages to Emma about his moist lips, taking a picture of his butt and sending the picture of his butt to your mom. How do you really think that's going to be construed?
Then, Lord, if it's going to be construed bad, then go find someone who will not do those things.
Do you want me?
Well, you're not here. You don't have the things that I'm wanting from someone in a relationship. You're not willing to do those things. You don't have those things.
Money?
Money.
Yes,
It all comes down, whenever things go sideways
you're a money girl.
for him, you're a money girl. I never thought you were a money girl.
turn into a money girl?
First of all, I have my own money. That's thing one. Thing two.
That Escalade.
No.
That was important that he has that Escalade.
As I was saying, let's clear up something. Because I don't like to hear any guy talk about women as, oh, you're all about money? You just want him for his money? Lorne, and that's what I've said since day one. Hang on one second.
I want you to cancel this date. I deserve to give you the 3 months, and you deserve to get the 3 months from me.
Lord, I deserve to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 decades of a good relationship, and I don't think it would come from you.
And this is another thing. He deserves this. I mean, everything he's done in his life, he deserves nothing. But he says this to Debbie, like, when she makes it more than apparent that she wants nothing to do with him. Well, I deserve a chance. Like, why? Explain why you would deserve a chance. You know?
And why does he have these completely arbitrary units of time? 15 minutes, 3 months. I deserve 3 months to be with you, to show you who I really am.
Exactly.
Why 3 months?
Exactly. And what's going to happen after that? He's going to spend 3 months being as good as he can be, and then he'll be back to his old shit after that. Like, why not just be... Yeah. If you're apparently some amazing person that's been hiding under layers of filth, like, be it now, and just be it for the rest of your life.
Because you're so hung up on 3 months instead of...
Fucking hell.
You got to get your money's worth on these Ramona calls.
I know, man. I know.
3 years, 3 decades, 3 centuries. You're not hung up on being a good man permanently. You're hung up on showing me...
I'm hung up on being a good man to you permanently. You're not going to be able to see what kind of man I am until you meet me in person.
Lauren,
you're not going to be able to see that.
And he says this all the time too. How does that change anything? Like, why is being in person going to change anything? It was the same thing as when Ramona found out about the Kayla calls. He was like, no, you can't listen to them until you're here. Like, why is it going to change anything? And why is that something you want? Like, that could be the only thing worse than listening to your boyfriend, you know, his calls to a 13-year-old. The only thing worse than listening to them by yourself would be while that piece of shit is sitting in front of you. Because most likely, you'd want to rip his fucking head off.
How would contextualizing it change anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's he going to say to mitigate his call with Kayla? Like, well, here's what you don't understand. Xavier Von Erich was watching me masturbate, so that's why I said that she was a precious little thing by the pool. Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. Thanks, Lorne. Thanks for clarifying that.
That's right. And the other thing you didn't understand, Ramona, was that, you know, his name spelt rearranged with a few letters added spells pedophile. Philipede. That's right, Philipede. Yeah. I get it now.
Like, oh my god, it's all coming together. It's like the Da Vinci Code. You know, he's putting the pieces together, except the pieces don't exist.
That's it.
He's making.
I always have this picture in my head of I don't know what show it's from, but it's that meme of that guy, and he's like got like, you know, the board behind him.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I always picture Lorne doing that, but it's just like Philipede, Emma, octopuses, and he's just got like string going between the three of them, and he's cracked the code.
I have seen over the phone is not something I want.
You don't want a guy having to be pissed off. Show me that I'm important enough to meet.
As I was saying, Lauren.
But you've been showing me that you're listening to everything the therapist says about you, and that guy doesn't even have any ethical values of his own. Otherwise, he wouldn't get personal with his clients. You would have only saw the look on Allie's face when I told her how personal the therapist got with you.
Okay, that's great.
Oh, God.
That's great
Poor
that you're
Allie.
therapist.
Oh.
Can you imagine being in her position, listening to these stories? Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Dudes, again? Another catfish? Are you serious? And he's like, well, this one were real. I know it because I'm talking to her on the phone.
That's right.
Jesus.
That's right. Like, imagine being his therapist. I mean, because he you know, he wouldn't engage about anything he needs to engage about. It would just be all of his issues with the internet and with these catfish and that. And you know, it's like everything. He takes it like he'll say probation needs you to be here to prove that you're real. Like, so that I can talk to you. That's not what probation have ever said. What they'd be saying is, you need to know that this person is real and isn't a fucking child that you're talking to again, you little shit. Like, that's what they'd be saying to him. But he hears that, you know, you've got to come here. Like, Like, they can't mandate that. It's crazy.
Who I've never met, who I will never meet, has an opinion on someone who she'll never meet. That's great that your therapist has an opinion on someone she's never even talked to. That's wonderful.
On somebody that's in her same profession.
Lorne, if that is the case, and if all of these things bother you, I am telling you, go on your date, go find someone who won't.
I'm not going on my date, and I want you to cancel yours.
As I was saying, go find someone who will not do these things if they bother you.
What bothers me is you not telling them no.
Lorne, I don't want to tell them no anymore. That is not what I want to do. What I want to do is be young and be free and be happy and not worry about the fact that I am constantly getting abused because I have friends, or abused because I talk to my grandmother, or abused because I want to watch a Lifetime movie. I just want to enjoy my life.
Enjoy it with me, 100%, like you used to do.
As you like to say, you've been with me for 9 months, and in those 9 months, the only enjoyment I got were a few laughs here and there, and abuse every single solitary Friday and Saturday.
So you're gonna quit. You're gonna quit on me when you're afraid that I'm right, that I'm a changed person, that I know that I can go 3 months and I can go 3 decades.
Just Dustin Thomas in the chat asking if anyone has timelines on the female catfishers. So, to my understanding, the first contact was by Emma, who approached him, as a friend basically, and then Ramona's the next. After Ramona dumps him, comes Casey, who the exact same person who played Casey, being Tiffany Lockhart, then became Winnie, who then became Wendy, who was also Winnie because they changed her name, who was then Winnie got taken over by Emma, and then after Winnie was Debbie, and then after Debbie was Jamie Amy / Robot.
Well, they're acting like a good person. I am.
Lorne,
that's what your therapist, so-called therapist, says. I'm a good person. You know it.
Lorne, I don't know it because I've not seen any corroboration.
You give me these 3 months to show you, and we meet, and then you tell me that I'm not a good person.
Lorne, I have
The only good thing that would come out of anyone visiting his trailer is that prior to going in, they'd have to be up to date on their vaccinations and get a tetanus shot, just a preemptive tetanus shot before going there.
Exactly.
That's the only good that would come out of that.
You'd want to be vaccinated for everything possible. There'd be shit in there that I don't reckon scientists have discovered yet.
Oh, yeah.
You
whole biomes.
at what you consider your best, and I have seen you not at your worst. I've seen you at pretty bad, but not at your worst because we're not face to face to where I could see you at your worst.
The only thing if we're face to face and I get frustrated, the only thing that you would see would be frustration in my face.
No, I fundamentally disagree with that. If they were face to face and he got frustrated, the only thing she would see is his fist coming towards her, unfortunately.
If I hit something, it would be going outside and hitting wood, and I'd say, that was stupid, I shouldn't have done that.
Lorne.
I hit people. I don't believe in hitting someone. Unless they attack someone that I allowed physically. Then I don't even like hitting anyone.
Lorne, I know you've hit your dogs before. So, I mean...
I spanked them a little bit. I don't even spank them now because of you.
Okay, how do you spank someone by not hitting them? What is this? You hit your dog. I spank them. Spank is not a euphemism for hit. It just means you repeatedly hit them.
I don't even... I tap them on the ass. I don't even do that anymore.
You did not tap them on the ass. You hit them.
Okay, I hit them on the ass, but I don't hit them hard.
Okay,
and
Lorne.
I don't do it anymore anyway. Because of you.
Okay, Lorne, you're trying to find euphemisms. It's like saying I didn't murder that guy.
You're trying to make me look bad. You're doing exactly what Barry's trying to do. Make me look bad.
Lorne, you're actually...
Why are you doing that?
Lorne, listen to me. I have not hundreds, but tens of people in my life dearly who have loved me all my life, who have loved me most of my life, or who have come into my life and not asked for anything from me, but just wanted to give. I have a bunch of people like that in my life, people who I respect and care about deeply.
All I want to do is give you the real me.
As I was saying. And all of these people now have found out about
Oh, and Dustin, Emma was Winnie. So Winnie was actually voiced by 3 different people. So Tiffany Lockhart voiced Winnie at first because Casey turned into Winnie because when they decided they didn't want to play the Casey Morrow character anymore because, you know, Casey's a real person, they said that Emma apparently found out that Casey was in a mental hospital, and in the mental hospital revealed that her name was actually Winifred, and so Casey then kept voicing her, but now as Wendy, and they then changed her name from Wendy to Winnie because Tony's wife's name was Wendy, and Lorne didn't like that they had the same name. At one stage within there, so Tiffany stopped voicing Winnie, and then Emma voiced Winnie, and also Wine Lover at other times voiced Winnie. So with Lorne not realising any of that, which just adds to it all, really.
you, and not one of them is supportive of it. All of them are showing me reasons why I need to run. Things that I was thinking about before, but now it's like, well, it's kind of difficult to ignore it because whereas I could put things out of my mind before and just go on, now I'm confronted with the fact that people know. And not one person, Lorne. These people, because think about it, these people don't want anything bad for me. They don't want me to miss out. You know, it's especially my parents. My parents don't want me to miss out on a good relationship. My parents don't want that at all. My brothers don't want me to miss out on a good relationship. They all want me to be happy.
All I want is for you to be happy too, but I want to show you that I can make you happy.
Lorne, please.
No,
please let me
that's
finish.
a lie. You don't want. Yeah, Lorne wants her to be happy so long as he's in her life. Lorne wants her to be happy if that just so happens to coincide with him being happy. It's like during the bro therapist whatever call, where he's like, they're like, Lorne, don't you want her to be happy? And he's like, well, I want her to choose what she wants to choose.
Yeah, as long as that decision is made. Essentially, Lorne wants Lorne to be happy, and if anyone around Lorne can simultaneously be happy, then that's just gravy. But the key thing is that Lorne is happy.
These people do not want harm for me. They want me to be happy. If I was with a guy who cleaned bathroom toilets for a living, but he was a good guy, and they saw how he respected me, and they saw him treat me well, and they knew that he wanted to care about me and care for me, they would be happy. It's not about the money. I mean, money's nice. I have money. It's nice. It's nice to have. At the end of the day, it's a security blanket, and it feels good to go to sleep knowing that you have money in your account. That's a great feeling. But it's not about the money. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to lay in bed and cuddle up with my money. Because first of all, I'm a germaphobe, and that would be gross. But second of all, that's not what I want to do at the end of the day. So what I'm saying to you is that
Lawrence
these
trailer
people
might
who
not
are
be
in
for
my
you,
life,
Ramona.
Exactly. If you're concerned about how dirty money is, maybe it's definitely not the place for you. I love it, like the Jamie Amy calls and that when she gets COVID and all this kind of stuff. They just constantly talk about how it's not safe for her to go there because of the black mold and stuff on his trailer. It just sounds like an absolute nightmare, that place.
Oh my God.
people who I trust, people who I care about, people who care about me, people who I know for a fact don't want any harm to me. And not one of them is saying Lorne is a good guy. In fact, all of them are saying the exact opposite. All of them
They
are
don't
working
know
with
me.
me. It's that they're not even, like, I mean, everybody's concerned about my surgery, but more so than my surgery. More so than me going under anesthesia. When you go under anesthesia, they ask if you have a living will. Because you might die under anesthesia. They're not thinking about that as much as they're thinking about this thing that I'm doing with you. And that is where everybody's concern is. Although they, don't get me wrong, they did good. Everyone came to the hospital and was very concerned. But now they're back.
The difference is they don't know me and you do. You've seen the frustrations that I've had to deal with that I've gotten through because of you.
Lauren, let me tell you.
You were there to help me through them. You're the one that got me to this point where I know I can go these 3 months, and I know I can go 3 decades. I know I can go 3 centuries, treating you good, treating you like I want to treat you like you deserve to be treated.
Lauren,
I need these 3 months to show you that.
Lauren, my family does not need to, quote, know you. My family does not need to see you. My family does not need to know your name, your birth date, your address, anything like that, to know that if somebody calls someone who is supposed to be their girlfriend a bitch, a cunt, a pathetic bitch, that they don't want them to be around that person. If I heard somebody if I had a daughter and I heard somebody call her that, I don't care if it was the freaking president. If I heard somebody call my daughter a cunt, I would want them gone fast, because she doesn't deserve that, because she doesn't deserve to be dealing with being called those names. And for the very first time in my life,
I don't want to call you names.
Okay,
I want to be able to love you like you deserve to be loved.
Okay, but see, Lauren, you might say that you want that, but that's not what.
And that's he says all the time what he wants or what he doesn't want, but it doesn't change his actions. Like he says he never wanted to go there, but you did go there. Like he says he doesn't want to call her names, but you did call her names. Like it doesn't change anything, but it's like he can't understand this. It's like as long as he believes he had good intentions, then nothing matters.
She's done. And here's the thing.
He wants to be judged on like his best intentions and for his worst actions to just be swept under the rug. It's
exactly.
Really, I don't understand what he means by I never wanted to go there. It really frustrated me when I was watching your stream the day after he's arrested and he's doing the interview. And he immediately, or not the interview, but the police interrogation, and he immediately goes, I never meant to go there. I never meant to do that. What?
Yeah.
Like, immediately. That's what he came up with immediately, and he's hung on to that for years.
That's right.
It makes no sense. It's so...
He still... And he if pressed, he would still say that now. Like, he fundamentally believes that, but it makes no sense. You do... your actions reflect what you want to do. Like, in retrospect, you might wish you didn't do it. And I could cop that. If he's saying stuff like, I wish I didn't do that. Yeah, fair enough. I bet you fucking do. I bet you wish you didn't do it. But you went there because you wanted to. Like, you yell at people and you call them names because you want to, and you can't control yourself when you're upset, and you make no effort to do that. Like, it's crazy.
That's what I'm going to do.
Well, I'm not
What's the difference? I told you before, when Mom said that, it woke me up to what the hell I was doing.
Lauren.
All because I was upset and frustrated about everybody else. I was treating you wrong. And that woke my ass up.
Hey, Lauren, it's nice that you decided to get woken up after 9 months, as you like to say. But the fact of the matter is...
It's not nice to see you quitting on me after 9 months.
Lauren,
because of a therapist.
Lauren, I should have quit on you after 2 months, after the very first time you did that. There shouldn't have been a 9 months.
No, because we should have met a long, long time ago.
No, we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Easily creature...
Fucking ads are killing me.
How much longer is in this call? Because I think the other one is more punch.
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes left of this one.
Yeah, so you could actually see me in person, so I could see you in person. Then we wouldn't have this hanging over our head that we've never met.
He's really not listening to me. He's really, truly not listening to me.
You're not listening to me. Anything I say, you're making it null and void.
To go and I need to meet someone. Now here's the thing. The very beginnings of the Lorne and Ramona saga, the things that you were doing was...
She name drops it. Unbelievable.
She names her saga.
Repeatedly texting me and getting drunk. At that point, you hadn't started calling me names. I'll give you credit. You didn't start calling me names until about month 3. So from month 1 or 0, from month 0 to month 3, you didn't call me names. And I'll give you credit for that you didn't call me a bitch until you had known me for 3 months.
Yeah, good stuff, Lorne.
So you would get angry and jealous. Am I going to be able to talk, or am I going to just have to hang up and just go?
And just go to a therapist?
I guess the interruption is part of his plan to show her for the next 3 months how, he respects her.
Wherever I want to. Now, as I was saying, in the beginning, you would message me repeatedly. I'd tell you, Lorne, I just want to watch Lifetime movies. It's Friday. I was by myself, laying on my couch with my tablet, watching Lifetime movies and eating junk food. That is how I sometimes prefer to spend a Friday. And that's what I would do. If I said I was doing that, that's what I was doing every single time. I got accused of going out with people, of doing this, of doing that. Anything else, anything in the world that I could be accused of, I was accused of.
Good evening, Kelp Pill. G'day, evil little McNuggets. And yeah, exactly right, Amanda James. I love it when men try to bully me and guilt me into not breaking up with them. It's adorable. So, obviously, Lorne's plan's probably going to work.
I would wake up with messages. I would go to sleep. I would wake up with a barrage of messages.
Speaking to his virginity, sorry, this is popping into my mind. His desperation,
yes.
I think speaks to that I think he's a virgin. At this point, he's every single catfish that he has, he's just throwing everything at the wall trying to get laid, just whatever it takes. And in my opinion, as a guy, the last thing that I would do, like if I'm never going to see somebody again and I like really want to have sex with them, desperation, trying to guilt them, that I wouldn't stoop that low, but that would be the last thing that I would do. And it's the first, he's like, what, I have no shot. I might as well just go for broke here.
Exactly. Like, and he doesn't, and whether or not it's because he doesn't, he's socially awkward or whatever, or he doesn't have that experience. Like, he doesn't realise if this is a real, if this relationship was real and it got to this point, not that he had much chance of saving the relationship, but this desperation, it's killed it. Like, if she was ever having any second thoughts, there is nothing more unattractive than pure desperation. Like, it's but he doesn't get it. He just thinks he'll keep saying this. And
it's all he has.
Yeah, that's right. And eventually Ramona will say, "Oh, you know what, Lorne? Yeah, you really do have no options besides me. So I'll use that that dependency to go with you."
I went to New York, and what happened when I went to New York? On my way to New York, you sent me a penis picture. A picture of your penis and your face in the picture. And after that, you asked...
That's another desperate attempt.
Look what you'll be missing out on, Ramona.
After that, you asked me 100 questions about your penis. Is it enough for me? Is it satisfying? Blah, blah, blah.
And look, I mean, he's really just thrown it all out there now. Like, that's another thing. If you're sending pictures of your penis and you're asking, is it enough? Like, that's not a good thing, Lorne. Don't ask people, is your cock enough?
I was with my girlfriend, all girlfriends, and I was not at my phone. In fact, much of the night I had left my phone in the car. And what happened? The next morning, I got woken up to a bunch of text messages about how, because I didn't answer any questions about your penis, that meant that I was cheating on you with someone who I met in a club in New York. That's what I dealt with in the beginning. Month 3 through, let's say, 6 was a Lorne who, if I didn't spend, 8 hours on the phone with him, 6 hours on the phone with
It's just like that, like, you know, he sent her pictures of his cock, and because she didn't respond, he assumed that she was cheating. Like, he always assumes everyone's cheating. Like, if you got 10 minutes that's unaccounted for, you were clearly having sex, because that's how he believes people work. But just the whole logic around he didn't respond to that. I mean, I don't think many people would even know how to respond. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people, when they get sent a penis pic, just block the person. But that's evidence, because obviously she should have been like, oh my god, that is the best penis I've ever seen. I'm turning around and coming to Maine because I need that inside me now. You know?
Yeah, well, I'm already in New York. I might as well just drive up to Cornville, and it's up there for me. It's an option.
Exactly. You know, be ready for me.
Every single solitary day, I was accused of not making time, of cheating, of anything that you wanted to think of. And that's when you started calling me names. That's when I was called a bitch. That's when I was called a cunt. That's when I was called a piece of shit, a pathetic loser. That's one thing that you called me before. All sorts of things that I wouldn't even call you, but that you called me. And
You put up with a therapist calling you there.
as I was saying, and you're exploding, screaming, cursing constantly at me. Then months 6 through 9, well, part of that time I injured my knee. I could count, and I was laid up with a knee injury. Now, here's the thing. When I was with the knee injury, it was a lot of physical therapy, a lot of doctor's appointments. I mean, pretty much almost every single day, there was something going on with my knee, whether it was a physical therapy appointment or doctor's appointment, or the case may be.
Fucking hell.
Sometimes I'd have to, sometimes I'd be in the wheelchair. Bro was wheeling me around all.
These $60
Right, lesson learned. I'm not going to stream it like this again.
All the time, all sorts of different things that meant that I didn't have full mobility as I did before. So what did I do during that time? Sometimes I read, sometimes I talked on the phone with Nana and with other friends. I tried to catch up on things around the house and certain administrative
You need to get that Nana out of our lives.
Exactly. And there wasn't, I don't think it was a call. I think it was done by text messages, but I would have loved to have seen that, because someone told me about it, how she was at Thanksgiving and he made her go to the toilet so he could propose to her. Like, that is, out of all he...
Oh God, that to me is the holy grail of Lorneography. If I could get my hand on that, it's a legend. It's out there to be found.
That's it.
And oh God, could you imagine? He'd have to be drunk. He's probably alone on Thanksgiving.
Well, that's it. I mean, all of his proposals are ridiculous, but that's got to be up there. Go to the toilet so I can propose to you. It's like, when, he's screaming at Winnie and it's like, trot your ass down here and we'll get married. Like, oh, how romantic. Like, how could you say no?
It's every girl's dream
exactly.
to be asked, to be proposed to by a pedophile over the phone in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Making calls that I needed to do, those types of things. What did Lorne do? Lorne didn't ask, I'm really sorry about your knees, what's going on? Lorne was upset because Lorne wasn't getting attention all the time like he used to. Because now I have a knee injury and I'm sleeping a lot more. My sleep schedule's messed up, all sorts of things. The main theme is that Lorne didn't get what Lorne wanted, and Lorne found another reason to explode. So now that we're going into month 10, now Lorne proclaims that he's a changed man and all this stuff is new and he's going to be great and he's going to be super. I just have to tell all the guys in my life who have shown me, in some cases for years, that they are fit to be a healthy, good partner. I just have to tell them that, hey, bye-bye. Don't want anything to do with you. Don't hit on me anymore. I'm going to date this guy in Maine who has now decided, almost a year into knowing him, that he's going to be a good person. Are you joking?
There's a lot of things that we've gone through. There's a lot of different things that have happened.
But all the things they've gone through are because of him. Like, they've gone through all this stuff because he can't leave the state, because he's got multiple issues based on the fact that he's a pedophile. Like, it's all... But she should somehow feel indebted through that. Oh, sorry, and Amanda James just said that was Christmas. That was actually a Christmas that she was at, where she was forced to go to the toilet to be proposed to. Even better.
Oh, well, then I changed my opinion completely. Then it's totally rationally justified. I get it. Holiday,
exactly.
You know, it's a Hallmark movie. It fits right into the narrative for Lorne.
Yeah. And sorry, mate, that was my fault. I gave you the wrong info there. It was Thanksgiving, so I can understand why you jumped down his throat.
Stuff that they're saying about me. Different things have happened. For one, I was never used to having anybody be honest with me. Somebody that I hadn't met yet. That was a huge thing. But if you remember back in month 1 to 3, we loved spending time together. We loved it a lot. That's the person that I am. I'm with you. I'm sorry, but I love spending time with you. And I love having a good time with you. I love having fun. I love being a good person.
You think you'd
Not
spend
my
more
fault.
time being a good person if you loved it so much?
When other people come into the picture that I'm
Yeah, when have you been a good person that you know that you like being a good person?
Exactly.
When did you have that experience that awakened you to being a decent person?
There was half an hour one day where he was a good person. He was like, you know what, that's pretty fucking great. I might chase that feeling. Then he just forgot about it.
threatened by. And all I need to hear is, please leave me. I told them, no, leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. That's when I started getting confused. I just don't need the threats. That's all I've ever asked from you. Just tell the threats to leave you alone. I know you're honest to me. When this therapist came along and you were flirting with him on the phone, with me on the phone, that fucked me up. Can't tell you that it didn't fuck me up.
DJ
It
Payne's
fucked me up. I
comment
never expected
just made me laugh. Knee injuries don't take 2 fucking months to recover from. Ramona!
that to happen. And the stuff that Emma said that you said. I never expected that. Like, in the dinner, I couldn't believe that he asked you out.
Amanda James, don't be sorry. No, don't, but in all seriousness, don't be sorry for correcting me. I get heaps of shit wrong, and I love, I like it being put straight, so thank you for that. And you're right, it makes it even more ridiculous. Yep.
I think you mean more romantic. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, yes.
I mean, that's a Christmas movie in the making, isn't it? You know? I mean, forget Miracle on 34th Street and all that kind of stuff. It's the the pedophile's proposal.
Proposal on Toilet Street.
that's the next blockbuster.
Dinner. Couldn't believe that you were contemplating it.
Well, I'm going out tonight, and you can do whatever you want. You have a date set up. Go on it. Do not stand her up.
No.
I'm not going on it. I want you to cancel the date for the therapist.
I'm not going to cancel tonight.
Why won't you cancel tonight?
What?
Why won't you cancel tonight?
Because I want to go.
You want to know what?
Because I want to go.
I love it.
You want to go
I love
spend
when
time
he gets frustrated when he wants his catfish to do something.
Yep.
And they don't immediately agree.
Yep.
And he gets so well, why won't you just do what I want you to do immediately? Why do you have an opinion? It's just
exactly.
It's so consistent. It's one of the most consistent things about him.
Yeah. And it's just that, he's just like so frustrated. Like, I don't know what else I can do here. I've said don't do it. Why are you still doing it?
With another guy.
Yeah. Oh man, that sparks the his uncle raising the rent, and he's like, I told my uncle don't do it. That's not your decision to make. He owns the trailer and he's charging you rent.
I told him don't do it.
Oh God!
It's like he just thinks if he gets in there first, it's like, you know, if he had a job and his boss called him in to let him go and he knew it was going, he's like before he sits down, he's like, "Don't fire me." Like, oh fucking hell, I should have got in there first. Righto, Lorne, back to work, you bastard. You got me.
Lorne, I want to go spend time with a guy who's respectful, who's kind, and who
Spend time with me. Something you haven't done for 2 months.
Lorne, I had talked to you
Why
on
are
the
you
phone.
killing us?
Oh,
Lorne, I have talked to you on the phone
again.
for hours and hours and hours.
How long did you talk to the therapist today? How long have you been on? Did you talk to him on the phone?
Maybe 15, 20 minutes. I have
It was
talked to
15, 20
you.
minutes. You gave him time when you couldn't give me time.
Lord, I'm on the phone with you right now.
They've been
But here's
talking
the
for
thing, Lord.
hours.
If somebody is not giving you time, why are you trying to force them to be with you?
Exactly, Ramona. Mic drop, you know, call over pretty much. She made it clear she doesn't want to spend time with him. She's made it clear she wants to move on with this relationship. But he won't take the hint. He just keeps basically stomping his feet like a child.
Why am I trying to force you? I shouldn't have to be trying to force you. You're the one that started going out with these fucking guys.
Lorne, maybe that's
You're the
a
one that
sign.
cheated, not me. I didn't invite this guy into my life. I only have a girl into my life.
Lorne, maybe
Now we were together.
maybe that's a sign that we're not right
Is it
for
a
each
sign that
other.
you cheat?
Lorne, maybe that's a sign.
Is that a sign that you cheat?
First of all, I've never cheated on anybody who I've ever been with.
Really? You went out to dinner, do a fucking dinner date with this guy, this same guy that you're saying you're going to go out to a date with tonight over to his fucking house.
Well, here we
Are
go.
you
He's
not
getting right
hearing
up there.
yourself? This same guy you went on a dinner date with. When we were together, you cheated on me.
He touched your fucking knee, Ramona.
Because he loves the rage. He's addicted to the rage. You know, he loves getting
Oh yeah,
right
he's a
up there.
rageaholic, definitely.
Yep. I mean, that's what, in, you know, the most recent calls with the robot and that, as Reborn says, like, during this whole time that they were talking, he wasn't drinking. But there's no difference. There's no difference in the way he acts, because he gets off on the rage. And he gets there with alcohol or not.
And you want to see how bad of a person I am? Why would you even possibly think about going on a date with somebody that's supposed to be professional?
Professional. Be back in 5 seconds, guys.
Well, wouldn't you want to go on a date with someone who's professional? Like, wouldn't that be attractive?
UniSuper is now
Like, of
open,
course you'd think
so
about
more
going on a date.
Australians can look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like so ridiculous that she'd want to be with a
And ruins
professional
every
person.
ethic value that he's supposed to have in his profession, and gets
I can
passionate
imagine,
with a client.
like, they break up, and then Ramona is gonna marry the doctor. He gives her like a really romantic proposal,
Yeah.
and on her wedding day, Lorne calls her up, and he's like, "If you marry that doctor, you and I are gonna have a lot of fucking issues."
Yes! We're gonna have a lot of fucking issues. Even then, it wouldn't be like, you know, we're done. We have a lot to work through.
And are you texting him right now? How much time are you giving this guy?
Lorne,
But even then, there's no indication that she's texting him. But he's just like, you know, are you texting him right now? Like, it's not like you can hear things clicking, which that's the other thing. Like, when he's talking to Emma, you can hear her smashing the keyboard. It never occurs to him, you know, that she's sitting in front of the computer all the time when they talk. You know,
Yeah.
they'll be apparently running through the airport away from TSA, but you can still hear, you know, like, just like smashing.
Yeah.
It never makes him think. Hang on, did I kill it? I think I killed it with smashing my keyboard, hang on. What did I do? Sorry, guys. More technical
I don't know.
difficulties.
You're killing us.
I'm killing us.
Yeah, Carrot Gaming just said Lawrence his own threat. Yeah, he's so worried about the doctor and the therapist and Ramona's cousin.
Just tell me
And he
an answer.
doesn't take into account that he's like the biggest threat to his own romantic pursuit of Ramona.
Exactly.
Like his actions, his reactions to them is the number one thing that makes him unattractive.
Exactly.
Well, apparently I must want the therapist because if I'm going out on a, quote, date with him, end quote.
If you call it a date, he asked you out to dinner over to his house.
Lorne, then if I'm doing
While you were on the phone, while you had a boyfriend. That's
Lorne,
respectable.
if
That's
I'm-
real respectable.
Okay, as I was saying, if I'm doing all these things, then leave. Go be with Jenny. Go be with Jenny
No,
and go on
I
your
can cancel your date, too.
I'm not canceling on anybody.
I want you to cancel. You never should have even set it up.
Yeah, Kelpil in the chat, you know, not just rage, righteous rage, which he gets when he thinks he's got the moral high ground. He is even more obnoxious than usual. I mean, he never actually has the moral high ground, but in his mind he does.
And
Never.
I'm saying to
You
you, but
never.
I'm not. I'm saying go out with her and enjoy yourself.
I'm not in this. You plan on kissing this guy tonight?
No, because I don't kiss on second dates either.
He's going to sit next to you. What's he going to do? You don't even know this fucking guy.
What? And this we come to another crux of, you know, the way Lorne looks at the world. You know, he's going to sit next to you. What's he going to do? You don't even know this guy. Because he is the kind of person that would take advantage of situations, so he believes that every guy is. That's why he says he's shit about, you know, gynecologists walk around with 24/7 hard-ons and shit, because
Oh yeah,
which is such a
that is
disgusting
so
thing.
insulting. His opinion of men.
It really is.
It's, oh, jeez.
He thinks we are all disgusting scumbags like him. He is a man, or a boy, however he looks at himself. So he thinks this is what I would do in this situation. So all guys are like that. It's why he hangs on to the fact that, you know, all guys are sexual predators. He's just been caught. Like, you know, basically where everyone else is apparently just waiting until they're actually caught. It's disgusting, and it is offensive. Like, no, most people, he is very unique. Most people are not like him, but he doesn't see it that way.
Lorne, go out. I could say the same.
I can't
You
believe
don't even know this fucking girl. You don't even know her. I could say the same thing, but instead I'm saying go out and
I'm not going over her house.
yeah, but she's getting in the car with you.
What are you doing? There we go.
You already did that with the therapist.
Lauren,
You're supposed to be riding with your brother.
Lauren, go out. Do not stand her up.
Fine. You go to the therapist's house, so we're not breaking up. We're not breaking up.
So,
We deserve these 3 months. That I know.
so
We deserve
even
these
now,
3 months.
exactly,
Perfect.
we deserve this. But you know, even now, he's come to the realization he can't stop her from going. So he's just going to force that they're not broken up. You go on a date with another guy, but we're not broken up.
That I can do it. I just don't know that you can't say no to these other guys. So for 3 months, my
And that's another thing, you know. She's a woman, so she can't control herself. You know, if a guy wants to make a move on her, she's just going to do it because his mind. Women don't have, you know, minds of their own, and just can't say no if sex is offered to them, which is as equally disgusting. But that's what he thinks.
it's going to be a mess until you tell me that you can go through 3 months without fucking saying yes to dates with guys. You
Go
want to see me at my best? Give me your best.
go out with her.
Give me what you gave me when we started.
As I was saying, go out with her and enjoy yourself.
And you go to the therapist's house.
Yes.
And you have dinner. Make goddamn sure he does not kiss you. You and I are not broken up. We're giving this a fair shot. Like we should have had. Like we had in the beginning. So we can actually see what each other is really like. 100% you and me. Is that a deal?
We'll see what happens, Lorne. I'm going to hop off of here and go get ready.
I love it. I love it. I remember when I first listened to this call, like, I couldn't wait. I love how she's like, we'll see what happens. You'd hate that.
I love those little digs, those little blows to Lorne, where she just slips something in there. It's so excellent.
Another blow to Lorne. Another punch.
Dress up in something sexy either. I'm not dressing up in anything sexy.
I'm not dressing up in anything sexy. Like, between his singlet with holes in it and his baggy shorts, that's about the extent of the sexiness he could dress up in.
Maybe jeans and a t-shirt on.
Lorne, I can dress myself, you know.
Yeah, but you don't need to do anything to turn him on.
If he chooses to get turned on by what I wear, then that's on him.
And that's another thing Lorne thinks, a woman couldn't just wear something, sexy or something that she likes the way she looks in to feel good about herself. It's only to attract guys,
Yeah, you better put on fat lady clothes.
Yeah, fat lady clothes.
Fat lady clothes.
There it is.
Wear fat lady clothes?
Yeah. Wear something real ugly.
Sorry, I'm just reading your comment in the chat. Ramona doesn't kiss until the third date and makes the sex on the first 2 dates really awkward. Nice one.
So now you're telling me how to dress?
I'm trying to be fucking funny here.
Lorne, go have fun, okay?
You used to laugh at that shit.
Well, I mean, you're telling me how to dress and telling me to wear fat lady.
I was trying to.
Yeah, it's been nothing but abuse for the last 2 or so hours that we've been talking, Ramona, but I want to make a joke now, so time for you to laugh. Just move
on.
on.
A joke, but, like you don't remember about the diaper thing. That was a fucking joke. You laughed at it when I said it.
I know, but,
it was a joke. I don't know why you twist that around.
I didn't. We both know you used to get turned on by the thought of me in my diaper. We haven't talked about me in my diaper.
I didn't get turned on by it.
You said you wanted to have sex with me while I wore it.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I said I was going to change your diaper for you.
And that's not weird.
Trying to be funny about saying that. You're old enough to change your own diaper.
You said that you wanted, first of all, you talked about changing my diaper and then having sex. And then you talked about having sex through my diaper.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did, Lorne.
I didn't understand anything about having sex through your diaper.
Lorne, you did.
His voice gets high now.
I did. I know about it more. I didn't say that.
And then what are you saying that you said? Because I remember every time I come home from work, you say, well, pee your diaper for me.
I was trying to be funny. And you laughed then.
That's hilarious. He was trying to be funny. Pee in your diaper for me. Man. He's a real joker.
I still laugh. I laugh at that.
What I said before was, I'll change your diaper, and then we can have sex. I take your diaper off, and I clean you up, and then we'd have sex.
Oh, okay. So she's got it wrong. He didn't want to have sex with the diaper. He wanted to take a diaper off, clean her up like a little kid, and then have sex, which is exactly what we want a pedophile to talk about.
That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying put another diaper on you and we have sex through your diaper.
Well, you know what I meant.
It's difficult.
Well, that would be impossible, but you know what I meant. Have sex.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking. That would be impossible to do.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, have have my diaper as a part of our sex life. That's what you were saying.
No, the other thing I was saying was I would change the diaper, I would take the diaper off, and I would clean you up, and then we could have sex. That's what I was saying. Nobody else knew anything about you wearing a diaper. I don't know why you would even tell Emma that. Don't tell her personal shit like that.
Well, okay. I didn't tell her in a douchebaggy kind of way. I told her that you thought that it was. What did I tell her?
I think you told her that I thought it was sexy or something like that.
Yeah, that you. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
And I told her that in a, like, nobody else,
to clear his
I would
throat.
imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Would think that I was, basically that, I told her factually, I told her matter of fact that nobody else knows that I wear a diaper. Nobody else except bro.
Yeah.
And,
that's why my mouth dropped when Emma said that.
Well, I told her that nobody else here meaning where I am, friends and family and stuff, nobody else knows that I wear one. And I told you, and I had said it as, not only does he know, but he also finds it sexy that I wear a diaper.
I find that more funny as hell than I do sexy. I think it's just funny because it's special to me because you shared something really secretive with me, and I love that. And I haven't told anybody. That's why I couldn't believe that Emma knew it. But she turned it around.
Wait. I remember something else that you said. You asked me when I can't remember which version of this you said, but you'll remember when you said when I come up, when I come to meet you, can I wear only my diaper and a coat over it when I come to meet you?
I don't remember saying that. I remember saying telling you to wear a diaper on the plane if it makes you comfortable.
Yeah, and you said and just wear a coat over it. You knew I was going to wear it on the plane. I'm a germaphobe. That's why I bought them.
Maybe I did say that because it would have been fucking hilarious.
Because you wanted me to. He's a goofy. You wanted me to wear just my diaper and a coat, and I'd show up in just my diaper and a coat.
I gotta give Lorne credit here. He's doing a good job of running out the clock here.
Yes.
He's trying to keep her on the horn as long as he can. And
Exactly.
he's doing a good job. He's keeping her on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. Like, it's just as long, he'll go for as long as he can to try to make sure this date doesn't happen. So he's happy to talk about this weird diaper shit just to keep that going. And, no dramas, Carrot Gaming. Thanks for being here despite all the technical difficulties, and sleep well, mate.
Yes, you really did. That would have been so fucking hilarious.
Fuck.
Breath.
I wouldn't believe that you would do it anyway, but that would be fucking hilarious.
Can you spank me while I wear my diaper and then take it off and have sex with me?
I don't remember saying, well, I wanted to spank you anyway in a nice way.
Well, I didn't mean you.
I don't remember anything with the diaper. I don't remember anything with that.
I didn't mean Roscoe spanked me. I just meant you gently spanked me while I was wearing my diaper. And that
I'd much rather have your diaper off than I would on when I spank you.
Wait, what?
I said I'd rather have your diaper off than I would on when I spank you.
Like, I understand that she's bringing this up, but it's another one of those things where, like, he doesn't get off the topic. Like, he doesn't understand that being a registered sex offender who tried to have sex with a child, like, he shouldn't be talking about diapers. That's why he shouldn't be writing children's books. Like, no one wants this. You know what I mean? And he talks about how he loves kids even when he was a kid. Like, no one wants to hear the pedophile talking about kids, Lorne. Like, no awareness.
Oh, my hand could actually touch your sexy ass.
Oh, yuck.
No, I'll show up in my diaper, we're having a pacifier and just like a trench coat.
I just thought about that too, and it just popped in my mind. If you showed up in your diaper, I'd have a pacifier there for you. That's fucking funny shit. Maybe one of
Yeah, that'd be hilarious, Lorne. If she looked even more like a little baby, that would be even funnier.
some of the plastic key ring things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a...
Come on, baby.
And I'll run around in my diaper with a pacifier in my mouth.
Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. I don't know, I really wouldn't want to do it, so it would also be extremely embarrassing too.
All I'm thinking about right now is how Jen's, she's probably doing her hair, getting ready for the day, picking her outfit, poor thing.
That's right.
She's never going to get to go on this date.
That's right, doing her hair, wondering what he's going to be like, wondering, what's she going to have for dinner, at Taco Bell or wherever he takes her. And
little does she know, Lauren's on the phone talking with a catfish about diapers. Little does she know.
Exactly. Oh, you dodged a bullet, Jen.
Well, no one else would see.
No, well, at the airport?
Well, I wasn't thinking about the airport, but...
That's what I was thinking when you get off the plane. Hand you a pacifier and a plastic set of key rings.
Oh, those okay, those key rings.
Yeah. That would be fucking hilarious, but extremely embarrassing.
Well, I think that's a way to get kicked out of the airport.
Yeah, that would be a really good way to get kicked out of the airport and probably arrested.
Because they'd probably wonder what was inside of the diaper.
But you know what? How Emma turned it around was that she said that was about the diaper thing. That was when you started having different second thoughts about me and thinking that there's something wrong because he likes me wearing a diaper. And
no!
It'd be because of my charge.
Well,
and she turned it around as that.
What does it do with your charge? And plus, I figured, I didn't think that you being attracted to me wearing my diaper would be any kind of, I didn't think you being attracted to me while I wore a diaper was anything that would associate with your charge. Not at all. I don't know if she heard me wrong, but I mean, what I was saying to her and what I still say is that you are one of totally 3 people who know, including me, who know that I wear one on planes and stuff like that just because, I'm a germaphobe and I don't want to touch, germs. I don't want to be in the damn public restroom. But I figured I'd tell you because I figured you'd have something interesting to say, and you did, and, you came up with a way to sexualize my diaper, and that's, that's
it didn't disappoint.
fine.
She turned it around as a kid thing.
Well, no,
she did.
kids don't wear diapers, though.
People do. Not. They're people that you don't want to tell.
Well, I mean, kids tend to not wear diapers. Certainly not like adolescents and teenagers and whatnot.
I thought it was funny as hell. And I thought it was special because you shared it with me.
It is, and I don't fault Emma at all.
But that's it, like, he doesn't really care now. He's just happy that they're still talking. Like, he'd probably listen to the fucking Kayla calls with her right now if it meant that she didn't go on this date.
Because I think that she...
Yeah.
I think...
Oh, yes, sorry, Craig, everything's okay. I just didn't really know what to say during that whole diaper talk, so I just let it go.
She must have heard it wrong. I think probably the way that I said it. Because I was angry at the time, and I'm like, he's the only fucking one who knows about me and my diaper, and...
You don't really think that I would put something out like that?
No. I just meant, like, he's like, well, okay, he doesn't trust me, but, like, I told you that about me that literally no one knows.
See, that might have been part of my problem because I didn't want other guys coming in and knowing things that only are between me and you, or secretive things like that. I don't intimate things, and I don't want you to be close to other guys like that. And that might be part of the problem that I had was because you and I shared so much.
Well, you and Bro are the only ones who know that I wear a diaper sometimes, and I think that Bro has probably done a very good job of forgetting it.
I'll say you probably did.
Good. I haven't forgot it because we've had some fucking hilarious times in the wearing a diaper. Like when you overflowed a few times.
Yeah, well.
Thinking about all the good times they've had in a relationship. Oh, you remember that time you overflowed your diaper?
That time you overflowed.
Oh, man, we've had some good times.
I still laugh at that shit. It's fucking funny as hell. I mean, it sucked that you had to wipe your seat off, but...
Yeah, well, so it goes. But, I mean, it made life a lot easier, and it just made things more simple for me to wear one occasionally. And now with the knee injury, it makes
life...
Huh?
Now with the knee injury, you have a closet full.
You have 2 closets full. No, I don't have that many. But no, it just makes life easier. And, like I said, I mean, I didn't judge you for getting turned on by it.
That's the way Emma turned it.
Say again?
Yeah, that's the way Emma turned it around. That you would judge me thinking that I got turned on by it.
I partially blame myself for that, for how I stated it, as if, like, how, as if it's something like, you don't trust me, but I told you this thing about me. So I definitely think for sure that, that's how it probably came off. But, I mean, you have a diaper fetish. It is what it is, and it doesn't, you know what I mean?
I don't have a diaper fetish. I have a fetish with having fun with you.
Wearing a diaper.
My fetish is. But we laugh about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny, and I do laugh about it. And like I said,
that's part of me and you. That's part of our time together. That stuff is it means something to me because we share shit like that, and
it's special.
It's important to me to share shit like that. And let me explain another thing to you too, because you just said something that made me realize.
Surely this is the last ad. We've got like 5 minutes to go of this call.
He's doing a really good job
a dog
of
person,
drawing it out. I gotta say, he's keeping her on the phone.
Exactly. Like he'll just keep going with this, even though he's clearly uncomfortable about it. Where he talks about how Emma has tried to make it out like it's a sexual thing with kids. He'll do anything right now.
Something else is when you started not spending as much time with me, I get affected by that because I didn't know anything about you, and I was used to knowing stuff that you were doing all the time, and you knew stuff that I was doing all the time, and I think that affected me because it was just that closeness that we had.
He loves the closeness.
Spending all that time together. That bothered me when we did it, and I didn't know anything. I felt like I was outside of your life. But and explains why I started getting all worried and paranoid. And
well,
I didn't really stop to think about how much you trusted me with stuff.
Go out and have some fun tonight. And you know, if you, I don't want to encourage your drinking, but I mean, if you end up having a couple, you know, just.
I'm not having any. I don't even have it hanking at all for a beer. I don't even care about it.
Just relax and have a good time with Jen. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. You've earned it, Lorne. You've earned a nice, fun night.
That's it, you know. You know, Jen and you can might be the start of something, you know, special.
I've gotten so far away from now that I don't care to have any. I don't even care to go over and have any with Tony, which is a good thing because he lives a lot further away now. So I don't even want Roy bringing alcohol up here to drinking it himself. I told him that, and he's kept it away. I told Uncle Clyde that to make sure that Roy didn't do it.
Well, listen, I
know you're gonna go over his house, right?
I'm gonna get ready. It's gonna take me forever. So, you know, just go enjoy yourself, have a good time, and
don't stay the night over there, though.
I'm not staying the night.
Promise me.
Yeah, I know. I have zero intention of staying the night. Plus, I have medicines I'm gonna have to take when I get back.
Okay.
Oh, come on, yeah, Ramona. Don't close the door like that. You know, we'll see what happens.
That's it. You never know what will happen. You know, you might have a couple of drinks, and you know everyone's having a really good time. Don't don't leave your options. Don't cut off your options.
We're back together. I think we just need to talk.
We're back together. You know. So just to recap,
I've decided. I've made an executive decision in this relationship. We are back together.
Exactly. You've made out, you know, quite clearly that we're never going to work because you want someone who can be there with you, that is your age, that's successful, which that's a big no from all me. We had a bit of a chat about diapers. We're back together. Like that's exactly how it works. So remember that next time, you know, if you're in an argument with someone, just bring up some diaper talk, and then you're all good.
We understand our stuff instead of everybody else talking for us.
Well, we can talk more later, depending on the time I get home, or maybe tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. I can't text you past 10, so if you get home and it's after 10, text me if you want to talk. Cause I will get up and no problem at all.
And stuff like that too. You know, I can't text you before 10. Like, if you've got rules about when you can text your partner, it's not a good relationship, Lorne. But he just cops that as well because he'll do anything.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
All right. I love you.
Thanks. Bye.
Good night.
I love you. Thanks.
Thanks.
So good. And that's that one. And I know we were planning on doing another one, but I've probably got to get going. But we should do this again and do that one then. Yeah. I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Too. No, this has been heaps of fun, guys. Both Eel and the guys in the chat. And we started out with some technical difficulties there, but we kind of got there in the end. So thanks everyone sticking to that. And yeah, no, definitely keen to do some more calls with you, mate. I had a lot of fun. Anything you wanted to say before we wrapped it up?
Yes, there was something that I wanted to say.
Excellent.
I need you to do an American accent, and I need you to say, I'm going to Walmart to buy a gun with my credit card in an American accent before we go.
An American accent. I'm going to Walmart to buy... What was it? What was the rest of it?
I'm going to Walmart to buy a gun with my credit card.
I'm going to Walmart to buy a gun with my